Conscious Reconstruction, the show where you came to get your conscience reconstructed. We have all kinds of opinions on the coronavirus, Meg Thee Stallions, legal woes, putting frozen potatoes up your ass,
Don't do
and we gonna get into the relationship shit.
Somebody
But
asked
the
you, would you
intro
rather
is
contract
over.
Coronavirus or put a potato up your ass? What would you do?
Put the potato up my ass.
Potato.
Me too.
Yeah, I'm not
I'm taking that
contracting.
potato.
Yeah, I'm getting the frozen potato
That's-
up my
I'm
ass
getting
versus
the
the
frozen
coronavirus. Like,
I'm taking that potato.
yeah, like that's.
I don't need to risk my life.
Like that was hella incomparable, but it's just funny to say.
Yeah, no. But so, what we got going on today, Marcus, in the science world? Clearly, you
Man.
hear the whole gang, squad is in the building.
All right, so I'm gonna
Who
try
we
to
do?
explain this to y'all the best way possible.
Oh, you gotta stop moving. Move the ashtray over so when you lean, you don't gotta lean over away from the mic because you'll talk while you're leaning towards the ashtray.
All right. So, physicists build a quantum teleporter wormhole.
Who?
Quantum
Who built
teleporter.
it?
Just scientists.
Oh. I hate when they just say scientists. Like, is that a fucking union? Scientists.
Yeah, just scientists.
Okay.
They were university. They were scientists at the University of Maryland.
All right, that's better. Scientists.
Because I mean, it says physicists. That's literally the title of the like
okay.
thing. It's
There we
physicists
go.
build a quantum.
Scientists.
Yeah. Okay, so what it is, right? So we not smart enough to do this by ourselves because we're people and our minds can't comprehend certain things. That's why we use technology. And basically, what they're doing is it's not even like they didn't really do this yet. They built a model in which they use quantum computing to build a wormhole to send information, which ultimately leads to teleporting or quantum teleporting. That's what they're trying to get to at this point. And I'm kind of weary about this one because, you know, science is always going to do what science does. They're always going to push forward and, you know, regardless of the consequences. But my worry comes from, like, getting to that point in which we're like, all right, we're using quantum computing to build wormholes to be able to teleport and move information faster and move things at, like, instant, right? When it comes to people and moving people and, like, that literally has to break you down and tear you down to information and move you to another spot and reassemble you, which is always the issue we have with teleportation and whatnot when we try to get into it as science.
Mm-hmm.
But that's what they're working on. That's what they're getting into. So, quantum wormholes.
I'd be so bored.
I told you, scientists are terrible.
At this point, I'm just like, okay, you do that.
I haven't learned one thing about scientists that has made me impressed, happy, or want to hang out with these niggas. Like, I just am thoroughly confused, upset, and frustrated. And I would like them to stop.
All right.
They're not going to, but I would like them to.
Could you not? They're just gonna send them a letter, dear scientists. Could you not? Sincerely, people.
They were like, we don't know what this means. Continue doing what they're doing. Could we not? What?
Could you not, nigga? You know what the fuck you all be doing over there?
Not what?
Why I gotta explain what you be doing?
Y'all
I
know
clearly
what
sent
y'all
it to the specific person that was doing that wormhole shit, and you got the audacity to ask me what?
What you mean? Can I not what? I do a lot of things, sir.
All of it then.
Yeah, just
Stop.
I'm a
stop everything.
physicist.
No, stop everything.
Just stop everything so we can just.
You pause it all. You done. No more for you.
I'm gonna smack that hand.
Yeah,
You
'cause
just
that
smack
shit
your
is-
hands out
Get
here.
your hand off that beaker.
That shit is bad. Like,
Cause they
Let's
bad.
put that down.
they
Bruh.
bad little 3-year-olds.
so, what is the use of, outside of them eventually figuring out how to teleport humans, what's the use of this?
Faster movement of information. Because before, because with us being a teleport, we'd had to be turned into information before we would be teleported.
My question
So
is,
the base is it comes from
how slow
just
does information move now?
apparently pretty damn slow compared to quantum computing and the speeds they get to there.
Well, yeah.
I mean, it's fast to us, but apparently in the next 20, 30 years, it's going to be a lot faster. Like, the shit that irritates us, you know, when you press your phone, you press something, and it take like a minute to load, and you get a little irritated.
Definitely children.
Yeah.
Yeah. No. They're going to be like, this is taking a second to load. The fuck is this? No.
So we can't.
And getting things. Basically, what this is gonna pan out to, like, it doesn't really amount to too much to us on Earth, but like once we get into space travel, and which we're eventually going to do, we'll be able to because like us making a phone call to Mars right now, it'd be 45 minutes for them to get the call and receive what we said, and then it'd be 45 minutes back for us to hear whatever they had to say to what we said.
Mars don't fuck with us, so nigga, let that shit go to voicemail.
It's just if you
I
for
would be
like
so mad
later
I
on
would
down the
45
line, it's going to be
That shit go
useful
to
for us.
voicemail.
Nigga, I'd fight.
Marcus, how would you feel if you waited 45 minutes to send to Mars and it takes your ass to voicemail?
I'm gonna send that bitch 45 minutes early. Oh, let me shoot this message right now, and let me go ahead and get my day together and get ready for my
Yeah,
day.
we're not at home. Thanks for calling Mars, but
Motherfuck.
thanks for calling the Mars household.
You know how mad I
We
am,
appreciate your call and praise Jesus or some shit. I don't know.
nigga. When you gonna be in the house?
Yeah.
When you
That's
gonna be
funny
home?
shit.
No.
No.
I need a dedicated 3 hours.
If I call your cell phone on Mars and you don't answer, and I sat here for
Think about the
45
roaming
minutes
charges.
and waited, I'm coming there to fight you.
How much is
It's
a
like, I'm
phone
on my
call to
way.
Mars?
I'm gonna go home, check my messages. I'm on my way.
The phone call to Mars is definitely equivalent. Remember, you had the flip phone, and then internet cost like $6 a minute or some
Yeah.
weird shit. It's
Yeah.
like that.
Yeah.
That's how it is calling Mars.
That's probably how they gonna do us for real.
Like, how many gigabytes of fucking internet did they give us? Like 0.5 or like 156 millibytes or some shit. And it was
Megabytes.
like $10,000.
Yeah,
It was
like oh my, we
$10,000.
wasn't even getting gigs.
We weren't getting megs. We were getting like kilobytes.
You right.
Oh my.
You right. We
God.
wasn't even getting megabytes. We was getting
The
kilobytes.
And then
man.
we
Like,
evolved
yeah.
to megabytes.
Information is evolved from the like
That's how it be
the
calling
transfer
Mars.
information
Nigga,
is
don't call
evolved.
me after 9. Oh my God. My niggas on Mars gonna tell y'all not to call them after 9. I mean before 9. They got minutes.
Nigga, that's 6 a.m. to me. What you mean?
Before 9. They
You
call
better
me after
answer this
9.
goddamn phone.
Nigga, don't call me
I'll
before
call you.
March 6th
Bruh.
at 7 p.m. All right. To you, that'd be like January 1st.
You better be on time for that shit. You can't miss that call. Damn, that's like missing a phone
Right.
call. The video chat from a nigga calling from jail. Damn, I'm sorry, you can't do it. You better get your shit together.
Hell no, you can't miss them, man. They ain't gonna have another opportunity.
I wish I didn't know what that was like, but I do.
Oh man. All right. So on to the next one, right?
Mhm.
So for all these years that we've been fighting climate control and all these whatnots, most of the time we relied heavily on our rainforest to be like carbon sinks to like offset a good portion of our emissions that we just so carelessly put out into our atmosphere, you know, climate change. And now scientists are doing research in like the rainforest in the Amazon and the rainforest in Africa, and they're starting to see that trees are starting to take on less and less carbon. And by about 2030, they predict that trees will be more of a carbon emissions than a carbon absorber in the rainforest.
Trees is
So
So the planet is saying
That's
fuck
crazy.
us for real.
pretty
Really?
much, the
Nothing we
planet's
can do
like,
about
suck
it
it
for
easy,
real.
bruh.
How you gonna train a tree to not do that?
This is why they all trying to leave. They like, fuck it. We realize this. We can't stop this. And the planet in about 50 to 100 years is going to be like, hey, you can't live here no more.
Yeah, it's just gonna flip you off. Like, what are you gonna do? You can't do anything. Damn, you right. Why am I here? That's crazy.
Yeah, so essentially, like, the trees still do their essential process in which they, you know, take in carbon, put out oxygen and all that whatnot, but the rate in which they're going to do it pretty much slows down. And it's happening because the temperatures are rising. So it's like a direct effect.
There
It's like,
you
oh, it's
go.
getting hot. Oh, we don't need to eat all this.
Trees straight up was like, you know, you about to get
We
your
good.
ass whooped, and he was like, why you ain't take the chicken out, or why you ain't clean up all day? And you ask your parents, the parents come home.
And then on top of that, they're also, you know, deforestation. So they're also taking trees down. On top of the fact the trees are like, no, we're not doing this no more. So, yeah. Inhospitable soon, maybe.
The trees literally hit us with this. Why you ain't do this all day? I told you to clean up before I got home. And then he's like, well, I don't know. Like, oh my God. Then the parents be like, okay. They hit you with the okay and then go in the bedroom and grab the belt. That's exactly what trees did or doing or going to do. Hit us with that okay. And then they like to come back with that shit.
Hit you with the white parents like, you know what? I'm not doing this anymore for you, Jimmy. I'm not. I'm just
not
not.
doing this
I'm just
anymore
not.
for you. I'm just not doing
Just
it.
not. You're cut off. What?
You
Mom.
bitch, yeah. You bitch. I've seen that shit before. I thought that shit was a myth until I seen it.
I've seen that shit before too. Oh my God.
bro,
It's the craziest
what?
shit in the world. But yeah, that's the trees just did us like that one time, and they're like, you know what? We're not doing this anymore.
They gotta do what they gotta do.
Yeah, the planet's starting to turn against us. So we either got one or two options. We either act right or we leave.
Man.
Humans don't like to act right, so I feel like we just gonna leave.
Of course we are, because acting right is way beyond us.
No,
That's-
like I said, we're like children that have no obedience because, you know, we grew up in a world with nothing to oppose us. So we do what we want. And then when something tells us we can't do it, we throw a fit. And I'm like, you know what? We ain't got to be here. We don't have to take this. We don't need you, Earth.
That's crazy because I like learned how to study. Like if I gotta reconcile some shit, I learned how to study nature to like get my answers for stuff. And damn, that'd be crazy. Like how we just really don't be looking at nature like as a learning tool, rather it's something to like overcome. And then nature be like, I got something for that ass. All right, you gotta listen to me.
You're right.
Funny.
We should do better.
You said what?
We should do better, but you know how I feel already.
Yeah,
You
we
know how I
should do
be.
better.
No, I don't know how I be. Nigga. Why
But
like-
see, this is the thing, right? We're not gonna really appreciate it until we don't have it. Until the human race is floating somewhere out in space, like Knights of Sidonia, and we wish we had this globe to be on.
All I know is I don't understand why they don't appreciate it. Like, they need to watch more anime.
See
The
what life is like
scientists
without a
would
planet.
agree. Watch that be an article. The scientists say watch more anime,
They
and I'm gonna
should.
look right at you
They should say that.
at the University of fucking John Carroll.
It would be a good. It'd be a good idea.
You're not really explaining it. You're just saying it's good.
It'd be a good idea because it'd give you perspective on what it would actually be like to live in a colony,
Mm-hmm.
to have to recycle air, to have to recycle all of your resources, to always have to be searching for new resources
Mm-hmm.
because you don't have a home planet anymore that is resource abundant.
Where food becomes a luxury. Yeah.
It said like I was
Yeah.
reading. Then what book was I reading? Society Without the Father. I forget his last name. Alexander Muciniks or some shit. He was saying like how single-handedly the Industrial Revolution robbed us of that shit.
All I know is his name sound like the shit that you take when you got a stuffy nose.
That book was like reading a stuffy nose. So this nigga would take all day, like he would use so much intellectual filler to get to the point, like to get to like the point I just said, like, oh, the Industrial Revolution really was a little bit detrimental in the case of this, and this. And this nigga would use so many intellectual words to get to that one point. And he kept doing it. And I'm like, bud, just say the shit. Like, you
Nah,
just
you
gotta
like
waste. I had to get to 150 pages before I got to what the meat of the book was. But then again, he wrote it in 1963. I don't know if that makes a difference, but it was annoying.
Maybe he realized that was
God.
the point, and he was like, "Man, I gotta tell people," and he
I
had to
was
write
like,
the book.
But you
Right?
know who you writing for? Who you writing for? Maybe he was writing for his peers. I
That's
don't know.
possible. I mean, most people that write science books write for the science community. So we gonna put all these extra shit in here to give you some filler.
I gave that
Make
book
you feel
straight
like,
back
you
to the
know.
library. Like, this nigga own one. I don't like all the intellectual bullshit. I just kind of get to the point. I get it, but that was hard. That was a hard read. So even for me. Anyway, what's next?
All right. So scientists believe they might know what dark matter is.
It's niggas. I'm sorry. Clearly.
Dark matter is supposed to encompass majority of the universe. It's supposed to be the 80%, makes up 80% of the universe actually. You know, matter, people, everything we know that exists, the planets, stars, everything that we can see, light, is only 20% apparently. You know, that's not a big make us feel even smaller in the universe than we already are, right? So the newfound particle is supposed to have formed around like when dark matter formed, same time that Big Bang, you know, Big Bang, boom, matter, antimatter, or dark matter, whatever you want to call it. And they suggest that it's made from something called, that they named,
Ezekiel.
be here with me, all right? Just because no, this actually sounds like a JoJo character. It's D-Star Hexaquark.
So like Joestar.
Yeah, D-Star, Joestar. See, it's an anime character.
For all the niggas that be watching that shit, I'm pretty sure y'all gotta laugh at that.
Yeah, you know.
You know what? Don't treat us like that.
I'm not. I just was like, damn, that sound hot.
Okay, so here's a literal, just so y'all know what a hexaquark is. This is literal definition. All right, so you know, matter can be broken down into atoms, protons, neutrons, subatomic particles, and when you break subatomic particles down, you get quarks, right? Or quarks, not quirks, quarks. And basically everything is made up of a build of 3 quarks, right? Hexaquarks are 6, and that's what they combine to make something that protons and neutrons, they combine to make a different substance, I guess I should say, because protons and neutrons combine to make atoms and our life forms and whatnot. These combine to make something completely different, and that's what we believe dark matter is. Hexaquarks. Yeah.
Scientists.
Yeah, that's now basically, all right, so hexaquarks, when they get into sub-zero or absolute zero, which is 0 Kelvin, they come together and they create this 5th form of matter, which is odd that I've never talked about this, but they call this 5th form of matter Bose-Einstein condensate, which is short BEC. Like I said, it's clouds of atoms and subatomic particles when they cool to a absolute zero. And yeah, like I said, that's basically what they believe dark matter is.
Don't dark matter make up, like, what does it make up in this on Earth? Everything? Do they say it makes up everything? Like it's a part of it and everything?
Well, I'm not sure when it comes to us actually here. There's no
If
about.
it's out there, it gotta be in us somewhere. So what they not telling us about it, like being in us?
We probably just don't fucking know.
They don't
Because
know
because realistically, that's just what we think dark matter is. We ain't even sure for real. This is just our like, hey, this might be it. We found this new shit out here, and we don't know what dark matter is. And it makes some new shit that we ain't never seen before. So Maybe this is dark matter.
I need y'all to make a book about dark matter. All right? Thank you. My pod mates are so agreeable. I love y'all. Thank you.
Okay, all right. You was talking about us because I definitely wasn't looking.
I did this.
Yeah, I wasn't
was
looking
like-
up.
I saw her point. I paid that no attention.
I don't know why. It's pretty cool.
It
I
was.
could make it
I
like
thought it
a-
was a really cool gesture. I was like, oh, look at Ash pointing. She
Making
got
hand
fingers.
signs and
I
shit.
don't understand.
Like ah.
What you mean I don't understand? I understand you got fingers. Was I supposed to get something else from that?
Yeah.
All right.
Oh. That did not happen.
You were supposed to know
No, what?
That's cool.
exactly what she said.
What? Did she wanted the scientists to...
No, yeah, y'all the
Figure out dark
scientists to
matter.
make a
I'm
book
not-
about the dark
We gotta
matter.
write a book about dark
No,
matter.
No. She did the finger thing.
Oh.
She liked her fingers.
Okay.
I'm going to
And then she
directly
talked
say
about the
it.
scientists.
Tony
No,
the
I told you no.
scientist.
She said Tony the scientist.
Yeah, but I'm not that. I am Tony, the business person.
Tony the business person. I think it'd be a great idea if you wrote a book. And Marcus over here to collaborate on dark matter.
Marcus, I feel like
I feel like that's not my
That has
field
nothing to do
of
with
study.
me.
Must be a crazy cool little sci-fi horror film though.
She is like, oh, Marcus, write a book on herpetology. Maybe I could try, but like,
That doesn't interest me.
yeah.
How is that serving me? No, just
You see how savage she
We're
is?
working on my skills.
Remember she said, "How does that serve?" us?"
Dark matter. I gotta do
Bitches be real,
research.
like,
I gotta
could
go
give
do
you all the
things.
bullshit on top. Be like, no, guys, you guys are terrific writers, which y'all is. But that was definitely gonna be for me. Like, damn, these niggas really did that.
Mm. All right, so CRISPR's back at it again.
Of course it is.
So a few months ago, we got approved for human trials. I talked about it.
It's the
Nah,
best
this is
thing
what
in
they're
the
doing
world.
with it. So in Oregon, Portland to be more specific, university, they're using CRISPR to give people their vision back.
Look at them.
That seems pretty
Look at
noble.
That's noble.
So,
Scientist, okay. Scientist.
what are they treating? I gotta find what the exact thing they're treating is. But essentially, what they're doing is they're taking it's called congenital amaurosis. Yeah,
That sounds dirty.
Sounds dirty.
Yeah.
it's a gene mutation. It's blindness caused by a gene mutation, which means they can fix it with CRISPR. Cause I'm gonna go slice your genes up and make things happen. So basically, what they do is they go in, they make 2 cuts on either side, and since the gene
I
that
almost made a real wow. I almost made a real corny joke.
okay,
Yeah.
I love it already.
I'm not gonna say it, but I want to.
that face though.
All right. So I was say what you said again about them
which they're making the cuts on either side.
before that.
I'm on a streamline. I can't go backwards.
Well, then keep going. I said I'm on the streamline.
Yeah, that's kind of how it goes.
It's like a rocket ship.
Yeah.
See, he said, yeah, it's like a rocket
Yeah, like I said, it's a gene mutation that keeps the body from making proteins to convert lights into signals to the brain, which enables sight. That's what it is. I should put that out there.
Oh, yeah. I was going to say, better hope you make the cut.
That's
That's so
you.
corny. It's terrible.
I
It's
love
like,
it.
why did you think
I
of
love
that
it.
brain?
No,
that
that's
was a
exactly-
She's like, that's amazing.
I was
That's
like, that's not a
amazing.
good one.
This is why we're here doing this.
I was like,
because
no,
of
you
that
do
right
good
there.
job. I was like, you do good job sometime, but that was not one of the times.
That's the only reason why I'm down here.
She's like, I live for those.
That
Live
was
for shit like this is why you
not
need to write a
good.
book.
No.
Marcus be getting me, man. I feel like
You trying to ego stroke me, and that's cool, and I respect it, but the answer is still no. I don't want to do that. I feel like you should do that. You want to do
damn,
that.
I'm dead. I'm gonna give y'all the same thing that Riley be telling me when I tell her to do stuff. She be like, I'm dead, and then fall on the floor.
Literally, she
Yeah, she like,
did.
I'm dead.
She took it all the way.
So
I mean, I respect that. She's committed
to what though?
to what she said. I am dead, and then died. I mean, I can't do nothing but respect that.
Yeah, you right.
I would be mad because she said I'm dead and then died. Well, then you told me. I would look at you. I can't believe you died. I mean, I told you I was dead.
I don't. Yeah, you be,
But it's
Alright.
also probably funny because it's not my kid. And I could just laugh at it and be like, look at this shit. Look at that. She was dead. You had
She
to deal with
died.
it. She said some crazy shit to you. You was like, you do it. She was like, no, I'm dead. And just stop talking. That sounds hilarious to me.
it is hilarious, but then you can't laugh at this shit all the time. You really
trying
be
to
like,
be
yo, go take a
serious.
shower. I'm dead. Like, what the
Your ass up. What you
can't
mean
laugh
you
at this
dead?
shit all the time. Yeah.
Yeah, no, you got to be a parent. That's why I said it's probably more funny for me.
It's hilarious, but
Yeah,
obviously
you ain't like
there's the cutoff.
when people got kids been around them and they kids be acting wild and they be serious as hell and you just that shit hilarious. You just laughing like
No,
that shit
I'm
not
the-
funny.
I'm the
You-
adult that is actively participating in telling the child to do bad shit. Let me be real honest with you. Don't leave your kid around me. I'ma see. Can you got verbal skills? Oh, you can talk. Say this. Tell her stop talking to you. As soon as a parent tell them to do something, tell her leave you alone. Tell her don't talk to you like that. Say, mommy, don't speak to me that way. Be like, mommy, I will not be spoken to like that.
Really already do it. Nah, fam.
Yeah, address me properly.
no, fam.
That's real. No,
Fam.
you do that. That's
I
for
wish I
you.
could stop laughing though every time she do shit like that. Like,
That's- but
this
it's
is so
funny.
But I can't
This shit
be
is
laughing.
hilarious.
Go ahead, Marcus. I'm sorry.
Oh, yeah, we definitely did just have like a whole. moment.
Basically, what they do with CRISPR is they jump in and cut the mutations out, and the DNA over a couple months is supposed to reconnect, which allows the light to be received again, the person to see. And since this gene isn't one that grows, divides, and all that whatnot, once you do it, it should be a permanent situation, and it shouldn't revert or anything of that sense. So once it happens, you get your sight back, or you get your sight if you never had it since it is a mutation, and you keep it. So right now, CRISPR has a possibility of giving you a sight back if you have certain
All right.
if it was a mutation or DNA situation that caused your blindness. I mean, obviously, if someone throws acid in your eyes and your eyes are damaged, CRISPR can't help you with that because that's literally just
That's
your
when you need
eyes.
Stem cells.
Yeah, you need cell repair. CRISPR don't cell repair. CRISPR fucks with your DNA.
Is it bad that I know all the things that can like elongate life?
Not really. Clearly, that's like yo shit.
You know, I mean, there's a whole group of people out there that I found.
You found your tribe.
I did. Anti-aging society.
That's the name of the group.
Mm-hmm.
Did
I
you end
found
up
it
watching the
was
rest of that podcast?
No,
I think I did.
how'd it go?
It was pretty good.
That's what's up. I support that. I wanted to, but I don't be having time all the time, and 3 hours is a lot. So I'll be watching the clips. We talking about the coronavirus? When is it corona time?
We can talk about coronavirus now. I'm so damn tired of
I'm
coronavirus.
so ready. I love the coronavirus.
Like it involves like half of my news when I'm looking through stuff. Like half of science is coronavirus, half of tech is coronavirus, half of health. Shit, my bad. All of health is coronavirus, and how the coronavirus is all over the world now. The shit that hit the States, the goddamn West Coast is all coronavirus out. Some of the South is, a little bit of the East Coast. The middle of the country is pretty empty, so there's nothing really there.
Shout out to corn, because I feel like corn had something to do with that shit. Shout out to the Midwest for holding it down.
You know what they grow in the Midwest?
What?
Fucking potatoes.
Mm.
Shout out to the Midwest. You know what I'm saying? Hanging out at Walmart at night ain't so fucking bad is it? No, I don't know what they got to do with the coronavirus.
I ain't got no coronavirus.
Exactly.
Well, yeah, coronavirus is out here interrupting the world. There was the first case of it in Illinois like a couple days ago. Like I said, it's all along the West Coast right now. Cases breaking out. It's up in Canada. I haven't heard any reports in Mexico or South America yet. Like I said,
everywhere there's a port.
Oh, okay.
pretty much. And yeah, that's coronavirus. Even there's even a report of it spreading to a dog, a Pomeranian.
The fuck?
So it's even hitting
I'm sorry.
our pets. You know what else hit our pets? T-virus. All right, I'm done. But coronavirus.
I hear there was a toilet paper shortage in Japan and Korea because of that.
Because of coronavirus. That
Yeah,
must
they're saying like
suck.
the manufacturers was in China, so then they got all nervous. So everybody started talking about
This is
stockpiling
what
toilet paper.
this is what I was saying. Like, isn't it
Shit.
just crazy how our manufacturing powerhouse of the world is now infected with a deadly virus that's
Crazy.
shutting down the rest of the world?
Nike is expected to lose like $3 billion.
Yeah,
$1 billion?
it's hitting everybody.
crazy.
Coronavirus is hitting pockets.
Yeah.
Coronavirus ain't just hitting us; it's hitting our pockets
No,
too.
it's
It's fucking up
a lot.
everything.
Yeah.
It's disrupting the economy.
Mm.
Yeah. But now's a great time to buy stocks.
That is also true. It might
Mhm.
throw us into a
A depression.
yeah.
So get you some stocks. Cause yeah, Disney almost down to $100.
Hey, this might be
Disney at 114 right now.
I was thinking about
This might be like
Everything is falling. I'm about to scoop me some shit up.
I'm about to. Well, I thought about buying stocks in like the companies that's invested in like Africa and giving them internet. That'd be a good one.
I support that.
this might get to plague levels, man. We ain't had a plague in a while. Since the 1800s, and it was just dirty everywhere. It was. And I can't even say we, because like Europe had the plague. Cause they were just dirty everywhere.
Maybe someone think about that shit. I'll just be like, ugh, what the fuck?
It was just like, it was real dusty, dirty. You
I
had
heard
dirty
that's why they invented high
kids.
heels, so like you didn't have to step in shit.
I mean, it would serve a purpose.
That's wild.
I mean, think
Europe
about
is
it. We
so
don't really
wild.
make too many things without having a purpose originally.
Europe during that time. There's no way.
I mean, men used to wear heels back then.
There's no way I'm going back. My nasty ass. Damn sure gonna try to find some European black cock, and then like it's just gross. Like nah,
No, it's gonna.
Can't do it.
I mean,
can't do it, Archibald.
it's all over the place.
Yeah,
all them
it's
niggas
just
is covered in
everywhere.
dust and soot.
Nasty, huh? That's crazy. I'm gonna tell you no.
Going to work in the factories. You got kids in the factories, their little hands, and all them gear. Yeah, it was terrible. But plague time.
Did y'all hear about some crazy shit with Tesla?
No.
Mhm.
So, there's angry Chinese customers threatening to boycott Tesla, and so China made Tesla's Model 3 cars have been shipped with older and slower chips. The car maker admitted on Tuesday. What happened? Customers who bought Tesla's Model 3 car shipped out of the company's Shanghai factory after threatening litigation, accusing Tesla of replacing the new control processor with older versions, according to Nikkei Asian Review. Owners of the new car discovered the issue as the part numbers printed on the controls unit differ from the ones given in the car's information sheets. Analysts suggest that thousands of customers may be affected, and the move by Tesla to use older chips has angered Chinese internet users as well as Tesla owners. The review noted that some in China are calling for a boycott of Tesla, and others are accusing the company of deceiving consumers. Tesla said they are deeply sorry about the confusion, and they did this. Wow. I immediately just got retarded right there. I don't know what happened. I was doing great, and then my brain was just like, nah, bro, you're going to fail. But anyway, Tesla said it is deeply sorry for the confusion and that it did not mean to mislead consumers. but wanted to complete order deliveries as soon as it could. So my nigga, you was behind schedule, and to be on time, you gave me some old shit.
Mm-hmm.
But that's not what I asked for. I asked for that hot new fire.
I would have waited. My
You
hot new
can't
fire.
give me old shit when I'm expecting hot new fire. That's
Right.
like Lil Wayne dropping the Carter 3 and calling it funeral. You know how mad I would have been? Like, I would have with him and fought. Like, bruh.
No,
We
that'd be
gotta
like
fight.
Lil Wayne dropping the block is hot, calling it funeral.
Like, sir, I don't understand what you doing. Like why is that a thing?
Nigga,
But
we
yeah.
out here. We got some issues.
So shout out to Chinese people right now. They going through it.
They got all the
Desperate times
issues.
call for
Like they got issues going on with Hong Kong.
yeah.
They offered free upgrades though
Niggas out here dying.
with the newer Model 3 chips become available.
Mm.
Yeah. So
Shout out to
also
them.
owners of the imported Tesla car in China are finding hardware inconsistent as well. The free chip change will only apply to Chinese-made Model 3 cars.
That's
They the only ones that got janked.
Wasn't
No, they're
China
the
trying
only
to become
ones
a
that they
superpower? That's
that boycotted
crazy.
enough, I guess. What you
Think
say?
about it. Like China was trying to become a superpower, and then all of a sudden, this shit. You really got to be wondering, like, what the fuck be going on with closed doors? Some niggas was gunning for it to become like the next superpower. I mean, gunning.
We did it. You ain't know.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
Look, you remember we were talking about all the forces earlier?
Mm-hmm.
They slid up in there like, They slid right the fuck back out.
Pretty
Ain't
much.
nobody know. Ain't nothing happen. Ain't nobody suspicious. And all of a sudden, we got this outbreak.
Hey y'all,
It's like, you know this is going to get to us eventually. Yeah, you know we got to sacrifice people sometimes. And now it's in America.
Also, did you know that so you know South by Southwest, besides being a music convention, is like a tech convention as well.
Right.
So Apple and Netflix are the latest companies to pull out of that because of reports of outbreaks of coronavirus. So a lot of my beginning news is about business, because it's just like everything is just like
Oh, that's why you want to get to coronavirus. Like,
Yeah,
we
'cause-
coronavirus shit?
yeah, because everything is just going to shit.
Yeah, coronavirus is
That's
throwing
what things
everything
go
into
on
shit.
sale. That's what the old rich white people told me. It was like, have a lot of cash on sale because when recession hit, you could buy shit.
Yeah,
That's what everything on sale. I'm like,
That
thank
is
you,
true.
old white man.
it is.
That shit was the greatest advice I've ever received. Now to get the cash.
It's just now to get the cash. No, I support that. But yeah, no, shit has just been going crazy in the business world.
What I feel like is, like, look, I'm just saying, if I got to go live in the trees in the next 3 years, it's just something that's going to happen. It is what it is.
So when I come visit you, do I get it to click to get your attention?
No.
We have.
Why would you click? Oh, am
I'm
I
not about
destroying?
to call you.
Am I destroying your fantasy again? My bad. Continue.
I'm not gonna be like Marcus. Hey nigga, the fuck? What? I'm just going to hear you say what?
Yo.
What?
Yo.
I imagine it's a little bit different than that.
All right,
in my
continue.
mind.
The business is being destroyed.
I mean, that's really just it. Starbucks had a
Maybe 3 to
50%
5.
fall in sales in China. Companies are asking employees to work from home. Like, you know, everything is just, everybody's just like super afraid. Like, shit, I'm not going on a training because of that.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so
I'm just saying, look, if I was a supervillain and I was trying to wipe the world's population, it just seems like a good place to start to me. I'd go to China. It's
Yeah.
densely populated. It looks like somewhere that this would just start naturally.
Yeah, you
There's
had
a lot of
problem
people.
and you had a solution.
Yeah. Just let it happen.
Great
all I
way.
know is zombies. That's what I'm trying to get to. If they get the cure, that can turn us into zombie people.
I'm telling you, it's not good. Like, we don't get.
Zombie people?
I'm saying we don't get zombies until we get a cure. That's not right.
What zombie people though? Just you a whole zombie or you half a zombie?
You're a whole zombie.
Oh,
Yeah.
you want to be a zombie?
No, I want there to be zombie people.
Oh,
Like I said, if we get to this again. Like I said, they gotta be like Walking Dead zombies. Because if not, I'm offing myself and it's over with.
I'm not offing myself because
Nah,
if they're
fuck
like
that.
World War Z zombies, I'm
Mm-mm.
alright.
I'm not dealing with them.
They're not that bad.
I'm not dealing with them.
They seem bad.
Are they really not that bad?
They look terrible.
Think about it.
I am.
They
I
like
get-
build up like Legos and shit.
Or
You build-
Resident Evil zombies.
Bro, Resident Evil zombies. you
Resident
can deal
Evil
with that.
zombies aren't bad. That's different because Resident Evil has classes of zombies. Sometimes you deal with those little slow pokes, and then every once in a while you got to deal with something that's like highly mutated to like proportionate amounts, like fucking Nemesis. That's every once in a while, and that's only for people that's important. I'm not important. I'm gonna be off in the cut somewhere dealing with these nobody zombies all the time.
Yeah, you're right. But I'm just saying, the World War Z zombies, all you have to be is like kind of sickly, and they'll leave you alone.
Sickly?
Yeah.
They don't like sick people? I never
No.
seen that.
No,
You
like
just gotta have a cold?
no, it has to be like a terminal illness.
I don't need any type of full.
All you have to do
full
is have
speed
cancer.
zombie.
They
No,
won't
but
bother
not
you?
even that. Like you can inject yourself. There's viruses that CDC's hold that are
Yeah.
non-lethal that you could inject that they're not going to kill you for. So there's ways around them.
Mm-hmm.
They're just fast. That's their issue.
That's
Them niggas
that's
is
what I
fast.
don't want. I don't need that.
They're too fast.
I don't need zombies that can run at me like that.
We're not
Because-
talking, like conglomerating together and building fortresses of zombies.
See,
I'm like,
the
nope.
zombies that I don't want are the ones from what's it called? I Am Legend.
Oh yeah.
I don't think those were zombies or
I
were
don't-
those just creatures.
I don't know.
I
but
think those were
don't
creatures.
want-
I don't think those were zombies.
Regardless, Tony's not fucking with it.
Yeah, no, nobody needs that shit.
That shit.
There's a reason there's only one person. He is I am one.
Yeah, that shit was.
There's a reason he is one.
Could have never done it.
Them niggas.
But I'd be mad, Marcus, if you just offed yourself, bro. We gotta survive this.
I'm not
Crazy
dealing
how
with
you
that.
by
I
yourself.
told you. You give me Walking Dead, cool. You give me like T virus, I'm good. I don't need that in my life.
So
I mean, they not even that bad, but I still don't need that.
So you would kill yourself for T virus too?
Maybe. It depends. It depends on what I'm dealing with in the situation. Am I
That's
dealing with
crazy.
T virus zombies that's gonna run at me and chase me all day? I don't want to run. I don't want to have to do this. That's not what I want to have to do.
No, there's no zombies.
What
I
if you're
don't-
not in that situation right away?
Afterlife.
Maybe. I'll think about it.
Hey,
It depends on the situation.
that's crazy.
I don't want those. I don't need that.
I mean, I get that, but no, bro. You can't.
That's too much
just-
work.
How?
Because, nigga, I'm constantly running. I don't need to deal with, because when society breaks down, right,
Mhm.
that means now I have to deal with people, I have to deal with zombies, and now I have to deal with nature. Those three things I have to deal with. I don't want to have to deal with, I don't need zombies that can run, people that can run, and nature that can run. Nah, I don't need all that. That's too much. And then if it's like T-virus thing, that means it affects nature too. That means I'm running from like virus dogs. I got virus cats flying at me.
All right. Well, if
I
you
got
have-
virus animals. I don't need that. Like the whole world is a virus. I don't need that.
Why are we all automatically just out in the open? Why wouldn't we have like shelter?
Because realistically, if you think about something like that, it would happen exactly how coronavirus is happening right now.
Yeah.
It would just be a slow breakdown and people wouldn't notice it outside of anything but a virus. And then, like I said, they'd try to cure it and the cure would just spread quicker than the virus is spread. Because realistically, the cure isn't doing nothing but waking these zombies, or what you would call a zombie, and the zombies perpetuate and help the spread. So now you got this worldwide outbreak and it would spread and we wouldn't really be able to deal with it. Just like we always think we can deal with these worldwide outbreaks of viruses, and this bitch is literally everywhere now. It started in China, and now it's everywhere.
See, I don't think that we would necessarily be able to deal with it. I just think that it would be I think it would make existence a lot more interesting. Like, we all know what this is. This ain't new. This isn't different. There's not a whole lot of variation in this. So I'm just, I guess, voting for a little, like,
You know what virus I take?
what?
I wouldn't even. I take the Zoo. Have either of y'all ever seen Zoo?
Who?
Zoo. It was a book and it was a TV series, right? what Zoo did was it turned nature against humanity. I'll take that. I do that.
Turn nature against humanity.
Yeah.
Hmm.
I'll take that. So wildlife and everything naturally like grouped up and just hunted humanity. Like groups of lions and shit like that hunted humanity. I'll take that. I do that.
Okay.
And then if humans take on the virus, they evolve into like what humanity would have been if, or their vision, well, his vision, the writer's vision of what humans would have been if their minds didn't evolve and their bodies evolved instead.
Okay.
So they become, like in his vision, humans became the ultimate predator. But they lost their sense of humanity. So they would just be like any wild animal, so they'd also attack you too.
Okay.
So I take that. That'd be interesting. You don't take about life being interesting, my nigga.
Yeah, that's cool. See, I'm with that. I'm with like trying to figure out like I know like Resident Evil zombies would be hard, but I think that it's doable.
Yeah, I'm not saying it would. Okay, I wouldn't off myself for Resident Evil zombies. You just can't. I just can't deal with those ravenous, fast-moving zombies that evolved during the golden age of zombie, the second coming of zombie age movies.
Okay.
Like
So-
those ravenous, like World War Z type, like zombies. Yeah, they had their way to get away from them, but most situations doesn't have that. So you take like I don't want World War Z zombies with no situation to get away from them outside of me killing them. Because what am I doing? Because then they're like I Am Legend creatures or whatever the fuck those were.
Yeah.
They're just swarming, moving. Like what am I like? I can't. Why am I doing this? Like what am I really striving for at this point?
I mean, survival, I guess, is what you're striving for. Maybe build civilization inside of this. Not even, obviously, I'm not even on no grandiose, oh, we as a humanity are going to take back the planet. No, I'm on some, I might be able to get like 30 acres, 20, 30 acres, build some walls, some spikes, some pits, a moat, and farm on the inside and do some like Titan shit, Attack on Titan shit.
See, I can deal with that. You know why? The main reason because at that point, humanity will always survive. This is the thing about this, right?
Yeah.
In a situation like that, humanity survive because it'll dig out a hole and then it'll survive. It'll live. The only thing is humanity will have to, for the first time, be able to survive with something that they can't outright dominate.
Yeah.
Something else that is equal to them on the planet. Because, yeah, we have lions, tigers, and shit like that can kill us, but at the end of the day, we going to shoot you. And you're not really that much of a threat to us if we got guns.
Yeah.
So, same thing with them, but, hey, if it's too many of them, they going to swarm us and they just going to wipe us the fuck out. So, it's more of a threat than wild animals. And that's the one thing humanity hasn't had to deal with. Dealing with something on the planet that is intellectually and... No, just intellectually at the same level as them.
Yeah, I think that'd be interesting. It'd be a nice little conflict, and I'm here for that.
And then another thing that comes along with those type of zombies, right? You know what they do? They learn and they evolve.
Yeah.
I don't need that. I don't need you to learn and evolve and become a society within your own selves. I don't need zombies to learn and evolve and become their own subspecies of humans. I don't need that. Because that's what happens with virus zombies.
Yeah. But I mean, eventually.
Or I should say parasitic zombies. Virus zombies just eat the brain and all that bullshit. Walking Dead type things.
Well, if they're parasitic zombies, my thing is we would just have to work on like advancing, like not dying.
I mean, yeah.
That'd be the main goal.
Survival
It's
right
like,
there.
not even, yeah, just like working on like how to make our existence eternal, just like theirs. And I think that would be where all of humanity shifts.
Ooh. That's interesting concept. What if our match for intellect and everything didn't come from another being? Like in the sense of, you know how they always say, how would humanity act if humans had something that evolved intellectually with us, like mermaids, for example. And we had something in the oceans that intellectually evolved alongside of us, and we just don't know it. And then we realize that. How will we act? How will we react to that? Will we try to dominate them and enslave them, or will we try to live alongside them? What if the thing that challenged humanity was something like a parasite, in which it just took a host and used that host? It had the same intellect and everything as humanity. It just needed a host to survive, like something like a symbiote or something in that sense.
Do you shake your head no?
She's like, no.
This is why I don't need to give scientists like y'all fucking microphones. Could y'all stop giving things ideas? Don't want that shit. I don't even.
What?
I'm just saying, because you know, we have like parasites in the world now that like take over insects and like stuff like that, and like there's a parasite right now that take over a mouse, and it'll force the mouse to assault cats until the cat eats it, because it only can breed within the cat's digestive system. So it'll mind control the mouse, and the mouse will assault like it'll attack. Like there's like videos of rats attacking mice. Rats attacking cats, and the cat's not knowing what the fuck going on. The cat's like confused as shit.
Like they probably looking at Mortimer like, hey,
Right. Like, nigga, what are you doing? Why are you here? I'm not hungry. Leave. No, get away from me. Eat me. No, move. So like shit like that. So what if that was what ended
So
up
if they
challenging
took over
humanity?
humans, made smart zombie parasite humans, then we would just have to figure out how to be eternal too, and that would be lit. I think that'd be cool. Zombies and have like a whole fortress. I'm all about this zombie apocalypse, as y'all can see.
I mean,
And
I
Florida gives me
strongly,
inspiration.
strongly believe that we're going to go through something apocalyptic. I mean, every species that dominated the planet has, and the planet goes through mass extinctions all the time. It's just a normal thing for the planet.
Apocalypses have we been through? I really want
Well, science says 7.
for real?
Yeah.
As a human race,
No,
or just as an Earth?
just Earth
I
itself
wanna know how many
has been through
apocalypses
7
humans
mass
been through.
extinctions.
I don't think humans have been through any.
And talking outside of religion, though, we haven't been through anything that, in the records at least, scientific records.
Which is whack.
And then and now at the same time, there is evidence to support a mass flood that the Bible talks about, but we don't know about that for real. It probably wasn't a mass flood. It was probably just like that area. But to them, if that's their world, it's a mass flood. The whole world is flooded.
Yeah. And so technically the story could be true.
Yeah.
Based
Just
on
like that basin
perception.
flooded or some shit like that.
Yeah. Hey, what if they had a flood like how they had in New Orleans?
That's
What if
possible.
that was the type of flood they dealt with? Then that would be it. Everything is gone. All that we know has been destroyed. That could be fucked up. I mean, it could be. It could not be. We'll never know. Because it's Mike's Super
Right.
Show. But no, we can talk about this Meg the Stallion contract now that Ash back.
Megan.
According to yes, I never left.
All right, you
To
right.
the pod world.
Yeah, Google doesn't know. But yeah, how do y'all feel about Meg the Stallion wanting to renegotiate her contract?
They better get her money.
Facts.
Okay.
I don't want to hear the other side because Meg is clearly right.
Okay.
If anybody's knees are that strong, they're clearly in there.
Anybody's
anyone.
knees are that strong.
I'm not gonna question nobody's knees that strong.
I don't want the bitch to kick me. She a stallion.
Exactly.
I don't want
One
to
tall
get
person
kicked.
to another. I understand completely.
No. I'm gonna have to say that
All right, let's be serious for a second.
I don't know.
Serious
If she,
face.
I don't know. She not Uzi.
No, she not Uzi.
That's how I feel about it. I don't think she should be able to renew.
No, she's not big enough to renegotiate.
Not
She
yet,
asking
like-
for a lot more than she need.
And then you can't be tweeting out shit like anything I've signed, I've read, and I want to be in any position I'm in is because I put myself in it. Okay. Well, then you can't then go back and be like, I didn't read this. I know none of this. Well, which one is it?
Yeah.
Did you not know? Did you not read?
Oh,
Did you
Megan,
read and not care?
you supposed to be a boss bitch. You gotta move like a boss bitch.
She also got
Facts.
tweets saying that if you let any nigga finesse you, you a dumb bitch, which I think is hilarious in this situation considering these niggas is getting money off of her. So whatever. People shouldn't say stuff so like staunchly. Like
So I don't like
this is
Twitter.
what it is.
Yeah.
Right.
Mm,
Hey, you know you be feeling some type of way in the
Bring
moment
up
sometimes.
them tweets and be like,
yeah.
Exhibit A.
Right.
Exhibit
Twitter.
B.
Exhibit. Twitter's gonna be like the thing that runs court cases in about 20 years.
That's what I was about to say. This could be used against you. You said this one time, and then all of a sudden you're going back your nigga.
Everything you said on Twitter can be used against you in the court of law.
But this is what happened to young artists that don't really motherfucking know what they selling. They don't know the in and outs of the business industry, and they know they could get, like you said, you get presented with a $50,000 check, and you ain't never seen that much money before.
You just hop on it.
Yeah,
Like, fuck it.
fuck it, why not? I just want to be famous. All right, well,
I guess my thought process is how y'all not know by now?
yeah,
Like it's not like Wayne was recent, but there's been plenty of artists. Joel Santana disappeared because he had label issues. The reason Outkast stopped making music is because they had label issues. Like and I don't expect a common fan to know any of this shit.
mm-hmm.
Like, but if you want to be in the music industry, if you want this to be your life and your career, why wouldn't you research? Why wouldn't you know the other side?
Yeah.
Because that's not how that's not how they function. That's not how the
Yeah,
average
like, you gotta
person
do it by
functions.
yourself.
It's like when you come in, when something like that comes to you, it's like, all right, I'm going to go for this. I'm going to run for this. Yeah. Like to us or like other people, yeah, I'm going to read this contract. I'm going to see the ins and outs. I'm going to figure out what it is because we pay attention to music industry and shit like that. So things of that sense. But people coming up, people just jumping in, and a lot of it's just, I'm gonna go get this money. And yeah, that makes sense for you to read your contract because you just going to get that money, but that's not what they thinking about. Like she said, you threw 50,000 at me. I ain't never seen 50,000 before. In my mind, this 50,000 is great. And
Yeah.
you just told me I'm gonna get this much and money gonna keep coming. Bet.
Yeah, no matter how much you think somebody family or how cool y'all is, somebody got their best interests first in whatever contract they're serving. This serves me more than it serves you. Now you got to see, like, okay, I don't understand legal jargon, and legalese is damn sure its own language at its own. Maybe I should get somebody to look over what I don't understand. Because Ash real big on that. Stop third person shit. I am really big on asking questions, and if I don't understand, I'm not moving forward. If I can't see it in my head, I'm not moving forward with it. But like I said, if you don't know, you really just don't know. But at the same time, are you in a time where you can't afford not to know?
But
Or just like going out and looking for that information? Like,
Yeah,
that's
like
what-
all that. With all that's being said,
what
it's not
type
an
of
excuse.
responsible,
Yeah, it's not an excuse for you to be able to
Just look
say
up
it. To be
basic
like,
music
yeah,
business on
you
motherfucking
could have
Google.
like called somebody in, like boom, pulled in a lawyer, like, hey, read this, bust this down for me or
And
something like that.
even if you don't have access to, because you might not know, like, the right lawyer. You might just not know you need a certain type of business lawyer. But you can Google things.
Yeah.
Like, there's a plethora of information. out
Information at your fingertips nowadays. And that's
And
even more of a
there's
reason
plenty
to
of
not be the
artists that
excuse.
talk about their situation. So I guess I don't know why people don't look at that and be like, what happened to this, what happened to them. And I guess since I look at it as like I'm not an artist or a musician in that capacity, and I'm interested enough to like want to know the business aspect of it. So why isn't someone who wants this to be their career?
Yeah, I don't think they fully grasp that it is a whole entire business of its own. They just, you know what I'm saying? You chasing the bag for real, and you chasing your image, and you chasing your success.
It's like a lot of these people, like nowadays, like what Megan Thee Stallion, she's like what 25, 26. She grew up watching.
I think she's 20.
She 24, 25, 26. I know she younger than me. That's what I know.
Yeah, she like mid 20s. She not like
Yeah,
young
yeah.
20s.
I don't think she was.
I think she's like 24 maybe. She's still in college.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. All right, so like she grew up watching that lifestyle, and like a lot of us, we saw like big timers and shit like that flashing and all that shit. But behind the scenes, we found out what big timers was really doing. You saw with Wayne's disputes and all that
how
shit.
Could you not know?
Yeah, it's like you grew up. That's what you watched. You never dove into. You never paid attention to the side shit.
Yeah.
Like before I started podcasting, I never paid attention to like the legal shit behind things that started happening behind music. I never paid attention to why certain things fell apart behind the scenes. Like, oh, this person just disappeared. Oh, well, they off the scene, not paying attention no more.
Yeah.
But see, I guess like when you say you didn't pay attention, I can understand that. But you always knew that you could come ask me, even when we weren't doing the show, and Tony would know exactly what's going on. Because I've always just been interested in, because like I would want to be a producer and do certain things. Like I don't want to be a recording artist, but like the business side of it interests me.
Right.
So I just don't understand how other people who are interested in that working aspect, I want to be an artist, I want to make music. All right, I understand that. But do you want to be the artist that signed the contract that can never put out music? Or, because like, we saw Lupe. Lupe was a very public fallout of an artist and a company. How can you not understand that? Like, I guess I don't understand, like, why wouldn't you look out for certain things like that?
Yeah, something in their head or her head just didn't register to be like, hey, maybe I should get somebody to look at this. It was just like, oh, they would never dick me around, right?
And that's another
Not
thing.
even, I don't feel like maybe they didn't have no malice. It's just maybe it wasn't a good deal for her.
Yeah, it's not like sometimes not even malice. It's just this
Yeah,
is
just
what the
wasn't a
deal
good
is. This is the
deal,
contract we
yeah.
give everybody.
See, I feel
Yeah,
like
if you
it
can't
wasn't
put
a good
like
deal
if
for
you're
her.
not big enough to perform to this contract, well,
Now
you
she
just
sit
fall
with the
flat.
gravity of it, like, oh, wait a minute. She probably had like $20 in her bank account one day and was like, excuse me. I was watching Jimi Hendrix and how his manager, they was getting $100,000 a show in 1960, whatever. And by the time Jimmy really realized he only had $20 in his account and was burnt out, it was just kind of too late. I was like, $100,000 in 1960, late the 1960s, is obscene.
Yeah,
It
that's
is.
But
millions
he didn't
nowadays.
see any of it because his manager was shitty.
Oh, no, I definitely get how you can get robbed. I just think that
It's
if you
personal
signed a contract,
responsibility.
you
yeah.
kind of put yourself in that position.
She
like-
wasn't really looking at the contract as something. She didn't take the contract very serious.
And even if you
No.
don't like your first contract, become able to renegotiate by your work. Like, boom, I'm of this value. This value exceeds the little number that you get. So if I pull away just completely and stop making music, you're going to get nothing, and I'm worth way more than the number that you thought I was originally worth. So you want to get to that new number. So now we got to come back to the table and renegotiate.
Yeah.
Basically, she never got to a point in which she was big enough that, like you said, she couldn't be like, oh, I'm gonna stand on my own, and I don't need you.
Yeah,
Or she never
didn't
got to
see
a
that
point in
within
which I
herself.
didn't need you.
She
Yeah.
didn't really know what the fuck was going on. I'm Meg Thee Stallion and I can kind of spit and I'm fine. That's what she knew. And I want this. I want this so bad. I'm willing to do anything to get it. Oh, boo-boo. Not anything. Just chill for a second. And that'd be like the haste decisions. Like, I've been there. You make just a hasty decision and you realize, like, oh, I should have just stopped and breathed and just seen what this
They said, and then
maybe she didn't get that chance or felt like she deserved that chance to breathe for a second and be like, let me look at this.
yeah, and then like you said, she didn't dig into her fan base, like her fan base. She dug in, like you compared, like you said, Uzi, right? Uzi hit the world. Megan's fan base wasn't the world, and she didn't dig in deep enough to raise herself up high enough. Megan had the same goddamn fan base as Nicki. What you saw where Nicki went, Nicki got shot all the way to the top.
I mean, I think that she could put herself in the position to renegotiate. And I don't think that it's bad to want to renegotiate. I think that's completely fine.
Yeah.
I just also think that when you agree to something and then you haven't done any of the 4 albums, it's a little weird to say, hey, nah, we got to renegotiate. My nigga, you haven't done any
Yeah,
work.
you should probably put an album or 2 on the table first.
Yeah, that's my thing. Like,
I'm just saying.
At least.
yeah, so that's why I was like, if you had
At least put one on the table, but like, here, I got boom.
And
This
I'm
bitch
fine
went
with
triple platinum.
We can count her last
ran the
album
banks
as
up.
one, but it wasn't triple platinum. It was the Hot Girl Summer shit. And so it's like, even if we count that as one, you still owe me 3, and you haven't even given me half. Give me one more, and then maybe we can have a
Right.
conversation.
Are you at
about
least working on the second
renegotiating.
one? Shit.
Yeah, they just don't know. Like you said, that's just kind of basic. Like, damn, I did give you $50,000. Can I get that bitch back? Or whatever, your investment, whatever.
Yeah. And shit, no, if I give you $50,000, I don't want $50,000 back. I'm going to be mad. Or not even mad. I'm going to be disappointed if that's all I make. Because realistically, when I invest in something, I'm hoping to turn a profit.
Yeah.
Right.
So I hope this 50,000 comes back 100-fold. And the fact that you agree, I just feel like if you read it and you were comfortable with it, then that's cool. If you read it and you weren't comfortable with it, don't sign it. But don't come back and be like, I know everything I signed, and then be like, actually I didn't. Well, which one was it? It can't.
I
be
mean, it don't
both.
really matter because you signed it, so.
But
Right.
yeah.
At this point, you pay what you owe.
Yeah, you just gotta take that one. I'm sorry,
Yeah, this is definitely a learning curve.
or figure out how to work something, or y'all gotta work something out. Like I
But
don't
it's
know.
always gonna be somewhere. What's
Yeah.
the saying?
You
I
can't
don't
get out
know.
of this.
I get born every minute. I'm sorry, Meg.
But my other and last thing is Twitter's thinking about doing something where they allow 24-hour uploads of pictures and videos that will delete after that, called fleets.
It's still out there for 24
So basically,
Yeah, like Snapchat.
They're doing a story,
24 hours. Now it's 24 hours on Snapchat.
Twitter story.
I'm pretty sure Snapchat is a day.
Cause you know, like,
Yeah, I think it's
Yeah.
always been.
Oh,
one.
the stories.
yeah,
Okay.
like you know how like that's pretty much what it sounds like they're gonna do. They're gonna be like stories like Facebook, Instagram,
I thought it was
Snapchat,
just
like snaps.
That defeats the
I mean, it seems like the same thing though. It's like I put up a picture or a video or something like that. It sits for 24 hours and it's gone.
purpose. I'm not on Twitter. I hate Twitter.
I'm not on Twitter either.
Fuck everyone thing that they do on Twitter. No.
Twitter pics.
But yeah, I just thought that was interesting.
No.
But y'all clearly hate Twitter, so all right,
Twit pic.
we can move
Anything
on.
they do is a no.
Twit pic. All right.
We can go to your.
Y'all
segment,
steal that, I swear to
Ashley,
God.
since, clearly, y'all hate Twitter.
I ain't got no issues with Twitter. I
Didn't
just
know that was a
how
thing.
you
I'm
felt
not on
about it.
Twitter.
You was
She
like,
hates
oh.
Twitter.
I mean, I just think it's interesting. I thought it was like weird that they're like hella late,
Yeah, they hella late.
and I feel like that's how Twitter always is. Twitter's like
Twitter's like
water
the fucking,
cooler conversation, but also late to every party.
Twitter is modern day newspaper. All right.
I mean, the way that they act, like you can get the most information on there, and probably the quickest, but the app itself is pretty like,
We'll get there.
yeah. It's like that's a good idea.
Or
We're
it's
gonna
like
do that.
Nintendo.
Nintendo's lazy.
Twitter's
Niggas
like
really woke
fucking
up like,
Nintendo. I
"Damn,
swear
y'all
to
don't think
God.
Good idea. We had these things called stories, and they'd be up for 24 hours. Facebook and Instagram looking at them like,
My nigga, what?
who
So-
watch you?
Why are we even here? Yeah. You can't
came
come to the
30
party
minutes late
anymore.
with your tie half untied. My nigga, get the fuck out of here. Why
It's
you
like,
have a
nigga,
face tattoo?
it's like, nigga, how you got all the information the fastest, but you always late on
Yeah,
everything
keep it
else?
Twitter this
Yeah,
week, like,
that is my whole thing. It's like, so,
Nigga, you only useful because you fast information. I
Yeah,
hate you.
You're hella fast. You can go to Twitter and find out anything. But you
So
can also not
Twitter
have
stories
any
isn't a
of
good
the
idea,
newest
guys?
features. It was a good idea 2 years ago when we all decided to do it. When Snapchat first came,
right.
and they didn't let me buy them, aka Mark Zuckerberg, and so I just copied everything with Instagram.
Pretty much.
But you, on the other hand, decided in 2020, the good year of the Lord, that you were going to introduce stories now. So innovative. How can I be like you?
Please, Twitter. God, let
You
me
know?
go. Twitter stole all my bitches.
Like, I don't. Twitter lazy. And I don't know why.
Twitter's a hipster.
Twitter was damn
Anyways.
sure asleep at those meetings. Like, then he pop his head up. Like, I have a great idea. Niggas thought he had.
Bro, we talked about that 5 meetings ago. Did we? Why do you even come?
He just go 30 minutes late to the meeting and just slump down. He just like puts his head down on the desk.
Why are you here?
And
No, I gotta come
everybody
to the
tired of his
meetings,
shit.
guys. I gotta be a part of this.
You really
You-
don't.
At
You
all.
have to go.
Like
You,
Twitter, I swear, if you didn't know everything.
you would not be invited ever. You're fucking dumb. I hate you. I hate you so fucking much. Piece of shit.
Damn. I'm sorry, Twitter.
But yeah. So that's all I had. Should we
All
go
right.
into relationship? 'Cause, yeah, I just thought that Twitter is,
Slow.
yeah.
Okay.
Like Snapchat is useless too, but it's just like,
I try to get as hip as Snapchat. That shit don't make.
don't
I'ma
nobody
lip
care
sync
about
some
Snap.
trap music?
Once
Like,
Instagram started
Yeah.
doing the stories, people stopped really fucking with Snap. And then Kylie Jenner said it was over for Snap, and then people stopped fucking with Snap. So Snap is
I remember
around,
when it
but
first started, it was just the ultimate creep app. Like, send your dick pics and pussy pics as much as you want, and Kick too. Then I was like,
I forgot about Kick.
oh my god, Kick.
I mean, it seems like Snapchat pretty much got faded out by TikTok.
Yeah, that's my homie. Like, what the fuck is the point of this shit? To creep? I was like, okay.
it's all about TikTok.
Yeah. And I had somebody, I'm like, you're not getting a Snapchat. Why? Because you're not getting one. I didn't have one. It wasn't like a hypocritical thing.
I had one and then didn't have one, and then I just never had one again. I never had a reason to.
Yeah, I just don't
I
understand.
don't care enough about Snapchat. I don't like taking pictures anyway, so
Mm. Doesn't
seem
seem
purposeless.
right, though. Yeah, Instagram be doing it. But anyway, my segment.
Mm-hmm.
So I was watching the podcast. No, wait, he just be doing clips. But anyway, the Roommates podcast.
All right.
Asked a question, and I thought it'd be cool to talk to y'all about. But he asked, "Does unconditional love truly exist? And why you think it do or do not?"
Yes. I don't think there's anything that would make my mother stop loving me. So
Mm-hmm.
no, that was my reasoning on that. Like,
From Mercury.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was like, I had to think of a reasoning that wasn't that. Because, like, he said that, and I'm like, well, that makes sense. Well, then, yeah. I'm like, because I have unconditional love for someone that wasn't family.
Mm-hmm.
That was the thought in my head.
I mean,
Or,
no, I don't think that's a real thing. I think
What?
that all of those, I feel like love for family is conditional at times.
Mm-hmm.
I feel
Based
like
on what conditions?
I feel like love for your significant other is always with conditions. It's, are you the person that I need you to be? Are we connecting on the levels that we need to be connecting on? Like, there's so many different expectations that if your partner fails to meet, that your opinion of them starts to change. So I don't think that's unconditional, because if they aren't a good partner and they're just fucking around on you, I don't know if you're going to love them still the same.
Well, yeah.
I bet he was like, you know what? Yeah, no, if they put dicks in their mouth.
Yeah, so
I bet, why you
unconditional love, right?
like that? Yeah.
I can say yes in my situation, at least for myself personally, because I can think of at least 2 people that relationship, no relationship, friends, not friends. This unconditional love I have for them. It's the same back. So, yeah, I can say there's unconditional love, at least in my situation, or the way, at least from my perspective. Yeah.
I mean, I understand what you're saying in that,
Mhm.
because I definitely have situations like that
Mhm.
where, and I definitely agree where if you care about, love, and cherish someone, that just doesn't go away.
Yeah, it's like
If-
someone that's like,
if you like have
like
a
me and those people are
relationship.
like really close to the point in which, regardless of what happens, like what happens in our lives, we're always here. That type of
But what
situation.
if they did something directly to be antagonistic, negative, and destructive to your life?
I don't know. I've never had that happen.
Because I feel like even if my child was that way,
Mm-hmm.
I would still love my child.
Mm-hmm.
I'd be sad. I'd be hurt that,
Mm-hmm.
but I'd probably blame myself more for not being like a better
Right.
parent to like get them to the space. And it could not even be my fault, but I know that I'm like, it'd be weird for me to be like, my child don't love me. Like, I know how much I love my mother, so if like,
Mhm.
my kid didn't love me, I'd be like, what did I do wrong?
I mean, even at the same time, I feel like you still can have love within hate.
What defines
I mean,
hate in
I-
a situation?
Because like, think of exactly what you're talking about. Like, I only find that when it comes to like child parent situations and
Oh
things
yeah, no,
like
I
that.
definitely agree with that.
Because like I've seen people that like completely hate their parents, but they still love them. They
Oh, yeah,
just
no.
hate them.
Oh, yeah,
hate
no.
who they are, I should
yeah,
say.
and I can definitely agree with that. So that's why I can say I could never see myself not loving my kid.
Mm-hmm.
But I could see if someone that I've had love for, where we were in a great space, and no matter what they're doing in their life, no matter how negative their life turns out,
Mm-hmm.
it wouldn't make me change how I view them.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know how I would operate if that was transitioned into how negatively they interact and operate with me and how negatively they treat me. I don't think I would stay around for that because I wouldn't see a reason.
I guess that's where the is that
Okay,
really
I see what you're saying there.
Is that really love or self-preservation? You know what I mean? Because if Riley just decided to become a drug addict, and for a while I was enabling her because I don't want to see my baby hurt, but then one day I'd be like, listen, this act that I'm doing is not really showing true love to you because I'm giving you something that's ultimately destroying you, and you fucking up my life too by this constant whatever drug addicts be doing, stealing and all that stuff. At that point,
I don't think that you don't love them because you don't actively support someone.
yeah.
I don't think support and enabling are the same as love.
Yeah,
Like, I can
enabling
love you
is
from a
that.
distance. The way I feel cherish and want the best from you doesn't have to be reflected in my actions when your actions aren't conducive to me being close to you. Because when I'm close
negative
to
in
you,
general.
it's going to cause nothing but ill will, negative emotions, damage to both lives. And I'm going to continuously be hurt because I know I'm not going to stop loving you. So me guarding myself is self-love, but that doesn't mean I don't love you. It means I'm not going to interact with you. So I don't think that if Riley was that way, you like, well, no, you got to stay over there because every time I let you back in the house, you steal my whole wallet
Yeah.
and I got credit card debt. And I'm not about to try and prosecute my daughter, so now I got to work myself out of this.
Got a credit card deck for crackhead shit.
Yeah.
Yeah, but you gotta say it. But you,
Exactly.
you get that situation where I love you, but you gotta stay the hell away from me.
Yeah. And so, like, I don't think
You need
that's
some help? Here go a couple dollars.
you
but gotta
not
stay the fuck
loving
away from
me.
me.
I think that's you recognizing that I love you enough that I don't want to continue to damage our relationship.
Mm-hmm.
And you're not in a mental place that you can recognize what's happening. And so I'm going to remove myself from that. So I think that's still love, but I don't think that I could love someone else that wasn't my child that was constantly negative. Like, I wouldn't, why am I I don't got to be here.
So you saying that they love, would it stop or no? You saying no, they wouldn't stop.
No, I don't
Okay.
stop loving you. I just stopped interacting with you because you still, and you are violent and you break windows and be out at till 4 o'clock in the morning and trying to have random crazy crackheads in my house. So no, none of that is acceptable behavior. So I have to put you at a distance because that keeps us both healthy and safe.
Right, because at that point
And-
you're threatening me.
And as long as I'm healthy and safe, I can do the things that can try and reach out and put you in a safer space. But if you compromise my safe space, both of us are at risk now. And I can't help you if I'm at risk as well.
Right, where the hell you gonna go when you need a safe space if I ain't got a safe space? Then we both
Right.
just ass out. We ain't no one got a safe space.
Yeah, that is.
You gonna do grandma? Grandma ain't gonna let us in the house.
Grandma gonna be like, I don't know, y'all.
Right.
How about when, now this just got me thinking about, like, okay, now you said, like, just dealing with adult partners and how there has to be a certain amount of, like, are you going to a relationship? We can't have no disrespect. There ain't no name calling, da-da-da-da. Or maybe something not like that. Maybe not, like, with basic respect. Like, say, I don't know, what do y'all want? Like, that's surface, that y'all consider that's important to y'all, but y'all acknowledge that's probably surface level.
Like, I mean, are we talking about like the people that we say that we're not interacting with really, but we have love for them?
Nah, like somebody you, like say you potentially about to get in something with them, or anything. Just your standards. We'll just say standards.
I mean,
This is the standard that you have even before we can even begin to have a conversation.
you have to be doing something about yourself with yourself. Like,
Mhm.
like I don't necessarily care about degrees because I feel like there's a lot of intelligent idiots. But as long as you have some type of work ethic, hustle about yourself, aspirations of like elevation and not being in the same position that you're at right now, and not like low level aspirations, like, you know, I might get a couple of raises and be a shift leader in a year. Nah, that's not what I'm talking about. I need you to be like, I'm gonna be like an assistant man. I'm gonna be a store manager of a bitch. If like that's where you want to be at, then I want you to want to be like the top of that shit. Like I don't want you to be like some middle of the road type of person. Like that's because that's not gonna match with my energy. I also need you to be like open to just different conversations.
Mhm.
And other than that,
I
See,
guess.
to bounce off of that, yes, all that. But you got to be like kind of get more in detail when you say like open the conversation. You got to be intellectual. And when I say intellectual, like you ain't got to be the smartest person in the world, but for the love of God, please just you got to know something about something. Like I can't. It makes me awkward to be in a situation where I'm talking to you and you don't. It's not that you don't
So
understand
this is
what I'm
gonna sound
saying.
real toxic, but I'm gonna just say because Marcus is tiptoeing around it. But women are fucking some of the most boring people on the fucking planet. Y'all don't have no real hobby or like outside interest or anything to contribute to a in-depth conversation on a broad spectrum. Yeah, there's the one-offs, but generally that's what we run into is I'm watching reality TV. I might complain about work and the bitches I don't like, and clothes.
Mhm.
What I was gonna say is you could like literally that is part of it, but you can't be stupid either. You gotta somewhat be able to understand what I'm saying when I'm talking to you.
But the ones that I'm talking about don't want to listen to that. They're not looking to understand.
Like like even if you don't completely understand, like you have some type, you don't even gotta have an interest in it. Just like, I don't know.
Yes, you do. You do need it. What you want them to do is be actively participating and engaging in conversation. So for that to happen, that needs
in the conversation. It doesn't like
so they don't need
what
to
I'm
have
talking
a
about
unique interest in
general.
what you're talking about, but
no.
they'll be interested in having conversation.
Yeah,
These bitches is not interested in talking with you, and
You're
you know
right.
that. So you see how you said it? You right, didn't direct the thing because he wanted to say it against away from the mic.
Wait a minute.
You
So
see
they
how
just
we
don't
just-
be. What the fuck do they talk about?
Nothing.
nothing.
Really?
Dumb shit.
Not at
You know why I end up watching TV shows with them? Because they ain't talking about shit else.
Y'all lying. Don't
Okay.
nobody be interested in anime or nothing.
No.
Just a regular run of the mill bitch. Just be out here
Tony,
like.
how many?
yeah, what
No.
happened on Love and Hip Hop?
Listen to this. Listen to this.
That's crazy.
No. Listen to this. Listen to this. How many females have you ran into that just off rip that you didn't have to introduce? Just watch anime.
None. And the ones that I did meet were introduced to anime by a nigga. Yeah, it was never like their unique interest.
Any female I knew that be any outdoor shit, guess what they was doing? They was for some nigga that was making them do some type of shit. And they not really interested, they just know about it.
Yo, that shit is my body.
Because it was some nigga that made them do it.
I couldn't imagine myself not, you know what I'm saying? Like, never being dependent on some nigga introducing me to, yeah, like sometimes, but that's just because I put myself in a position because I'll be wanting to know more.
I get sometimes, oh, that's something I never was interested in. Let me check it out. Oh, I like it now. That's different than me being.
And like
They
I'm
just
not
don't
even
have
they don't
nothing
even
when
have
they
to
come
be
around?
interested in anime, but like
Yeah.
what books do you read?
Right, like, what do you do in your life?
Do you go to the gym? Do you run? Any clubs are you in? What podcasts do you listen to? A lot of those things. Well, podcast is becoming more popular now,
Yeah.
so you're getting some. But the other ones,
Just yo, this is news to
are
me.
you interested in philosophy?
That is news to me.
Can we have a philosophical discussion? Can we have a philosophical discussion where I don't agree with you and you don't get upset about us having a philosophical discussion? Because realistically, this philosophical discussion is really high level and has nothing to do with our daily life. So the fact that you're emotionally invested in it is weird, but that's cool.
Yeah, like why?
Yeah, like I like having those arguments, like in which we have different opinions, and we just argue down to the team. Like, you know what? Fuck it, Google it.
Wow.
I love those situations.
That's
I don't
great.
get those on normal.
No, not at all.
That's not normal. I
No.
swear to God, like I thought these bitches out
No.
here was doing something.
They not smart for real. They just out here shaking their ass doing whatever.
Told you I was gonna be real toxic real quick and just be honest, but yeah, no. You see,
No, that's
you see how I had to
speaking
just
something.
speak honest, and Marcus was finally like had to control this nigga to be toxic, because women would be upset about this. Like women, like we're not like that, and so the women that are actually intellectual and have things about them, we're not talking about you, but on a broad spectrum.
Just a regular ass
When you
bitch out
just
here.
meet, like, if I was just walking down the street, a vast majority of the women that I'm gonna meet, the way that they think a relationship should go is, we cool, you like me, I like you, we go out to eat, we talk a little, let's say I'm not cheating, doing none of that, so I'm doing all the things you needed me to be doing in a relationship. So now we kick it at the house, we go out, do some fun shit, we fuck, you get to be seen out with me, and then we go home, and we might fuck again, we might argue about some dumb shit.
There's no depth, is what you're. There's no depth.
Exactly.
There's
That shit
zero
is.
depth.
No, you just going through the motions.
It's not even that. They think that's a whole ass
They just,
relationship.
that's it.
Yeah, and that's
I'm
if you
so
and that's if
sorry.
you get a normal one. Get you a abnormal one. Now she want to be up under you all the goddamn time. She want to know, oh, what you doing? What you doing? Where you going? Leave me alone.
I'm going.
Don't you got some friends?
Do you want to come to the park?
Don't you want to go out tonight? You want to go out? You want to go kick with your friends? Ain't y'all going out to kick it? Go ahead. You got that.
Shit, no, she can
No,
come.
I want to stay in the house. No, you can go out and kick it.
Oh,
I'm
I
perfectly
hate
fine.
That shit.
You
I hate
got
this
it.
shit. I want to stay in the house, but I want you to stay in the house too.
No, I'm going to leave.
Like for me, like I don't really be leaving the house, so it don't matter. I just don't want, for me, that I don't want you to, for me, that I want to stay in the house and I want you to stay in the house too, is realistically, I don't want to do anything and I don't want you to do anything, have any other experiences outside of me. And
No.
nah, bitch, I got to do
Yeah,
a
that's pretty
couple,
much
I
what
got
that is.
podcasts to do, I got meetings I'm going to go have. Like, I'm not going to be here in both of our free time all the time. And so,
Shit.
like, you being around and us spending a lot of time together is great. I love that. But when it's time for me to get up and go do something, that's
I'm
what
gonna
I'm
go
about to
do
go
that
do.
shit. And that's pretty much all it comes down to. Like you not have you gotta have. That's another thing. You gotta have your own situation. You gotta have your own life. You gotta have your own
That's
shit
something I
going on.
learned.
Because if you're not doing that, that means all you're worrying about is me.
See, for me,
And I'm
even
not
if
always
you
worried
don't
about
have
you.
your own shit going on and you want to be all worried about me, I'm fine with that if it's done in the fashion where you're looking to be as helpful as possible. All right, how can I learn how to edit shit? How can I learn how to bring something of value and not just be there to sit in my face? Like, because then I'm going to look at that like, all right, you take an initiative where you want to be around me, but you making it useful for why you around me, why you just here when I'm working. Like, you're not just trying to sit in my face. You doing things that are like, all right, this is going to be about, he doesn't know how to do this and he got to pay for it. Boom, I'm going to take that off. So I can appreciate things like that. And then, yeah, we can rock together. We can definitely work together. I'm not opposed to that, but you can't hit me with no.
But that's obviously not the situation I was talking about.
Oh no, not at all. Not at all. I know. That's why I was just being optimistic for one time for the one. I was
I'm
letting
gonna
them
go
know
up.
that, like, I don't
Yeah, I'm
hate
gonna go up first before I go down.
Yeah, like I don't hate y'all, but y'all definitely be on some.
That's insane. Because that's the second time I've heard that today. Like, I've been off Facebook for a bit, and then I logged back in for a little bit. And then the first thing I see is one of my friends. He said one of his coworkers came up to him and asked him, so he was trying to be like an alpha male, and he was like, yo, that shit's hilarious to me. And so he asked the man, like, what do you look for in a female? And all he could say was sexy and submissive. And then my friend was like, oh, I want her to be my friend. We could have a conversation. She would have a life of her own. And I was like,
Yeah, we have to be friends. Like, I want you to be invested in
Oh, of course.
some of the things I like. That's why I like when women adopt interests. I enjoy that part about women because I want us to have things in common. Like, I'm not upset that I have to show you anime. I'm upset that you lack the depth to understand that this isn't just a cartoon and flashing pictures.
Yeah, I dealt with a nigga that was like that. I watched Afro Samurai with him, like, yeah, let's watch this. And he was like, what? I'm like, but it's art, though.
It's,
Right.
It's good. Like,
I've had
before.
somebody adapt to anime before, and then like I had to explain to them like, think about it though, right? Because then it was like it was just a cartoon. I'm like, look at it though, like, watch this.
Yeah.
And once they watch it, it's like, oh, I get it now. And it's like, all right, it's animated. Just because it's animated doesn't mean it can't have, story behind it, meaning and things
emotion,
behind it. Yeah.
Like you
That's
can get that full
crazy.
range, but I guess for me, it's women that are unwilling to step outside of who they are.
Yeah.
Like, even if you aren't the most adept at anime or philosophical conversations or just talking about self-growth and shit like that, being willing to have the conversation, engage in it is very important. And like that shutdown for things that you're not comfortable with for me is like a turn off. It's like, so you're unwilling to learn. And I don't want to be around people who don't want to evolve and change and grow. Like, so you like who you are. So this is all you wanted.
This is it for you.
I'm good then.
This is all you saw for yourself, huh?
Yeah, nah.
Well, I'm gonna go ahead and mosey this way.
Yeah, because I see a whole lot more for me.
This don't seem beneficial to my
and
life.
I can't drag you along if you don't see more for you.
If anything, you seem like you're gonna be a burden.
Yeah.
I don't need that.
I think that just from, like, I knew I had not so much an issue, but I always been like isolated or by myself for such a long period of time that just going outside really just don't be like fulfilling it for me, or just like doing things like drinking and stuff like that. And those communal circles that we claim is normal just never was normal for me. So
Yeah.
I can understand, like, if a nigga like, you need to get out the house more. I'm like, you probably right. Like, that's not wrong. But at the same time, I would hope to think somebody would think, like, maybe her being outside ain't really got nothing to do with me. Because I remember when my ex would say stuff like that, like, oh, you need to get outside more, I'd be like, but I don't want to go. It wasn't nothing. Like, he would go every weekend and do what he would want to do, and he could do from 10 to 2, because I know that's partying hours. At 2 o'clock, I'm checking in. What time you going to be home? You tell me you're going to be home in 30 minutes? All right, I'll see you in 30 minutes. You tell me you're going to be home in 2 hours? Maybe I'll wake back up and see where you're going at for 2 hours. But I don't think I ever put the burden on him that he had to stay in the house or when he would go out. And this was like a extreme situation because things kind of got kind of crazy. Well, what he was doing was the one I wanted to do, but I just never felt the need to stop him. Like, if you feel like you want to go do what you got to do, I'm going to be cool. But I guess that's just my personal thing. And I definitely understand the insecurity part because I've been on the insecure part. Like, where you going? Where's your dick at? Like, I've definitely been on that spectrum. But after a while, after it dissipates, you'd be like, all right, I'll check in with you a little bit later. But
I guess I kind of agree and I kind of don't. Well, I don't know if I disagree. I can just say I'm on the other side sometimes where I don't mind you going out and shit like that. But if you just going out and it's just you and you just trying to be out and be seen, I kind of feel like that's weird.
yeah, like I said, I definitely understand how
that is
dysfunctional
weird.
that shit was.
Like, I feel like if you going out because it's like your girlfriend's birthday or y'all having a girls' night out, shit like that, that's normal part for the course shit.
Yeah.
But if you just like, oh, I'm about to go hit the bar.
Yeah.
Why are you putting yourself in
Right.
environments
And
that
when I started
are,
being like, when I stopped arguing about that shit, that was the point of no return. Oh, yeah, you got it.
yeah,
Okay.
because it's like
I'ma
why
do
do
my
you want to
duties,
put
I
yourself
guess.
in the environment that isn't going to be conducive for us?
Right.
Yeah.
And I'm not going to control you and make you not go, but I'm just also going to look at it weird.
Mm-hmm.
But I also think that, like, I understood going to the club and shit like that when I was younger and partying. But I also feel like that shouldn't be the only existence that you have.
Right.
You should be able to do that and then go and have, like, a 6-hour conversation about the Illuminati. It's not productive for real. But neither was going to the club. But this is
Right.
going to expand your mind and at least make you think about other shit.
Yeah.
And then you move off of the Illuminati and you stop worrying about that shit because that was like 12th grade.
Facts
Shit,
wasn't about-
right.
You saw that eye and was like, what y'all doing over there?
Yeah, looking at
funny
dollar
though,
bills
right?
and shit.
Nah,
Yeah,
Yeah,
that
12th
shit.
grade, that was like 18-year-old shit. Like, you
Yeah, it
just
was.
now started to like feel the world and be like, I know some shit. No, shut up. Shut up. Shut up. Stop talking.
Shut up.
You don't know nothing.
But even with that coming along, it was like your life wasn't just partying and bullshitting and whatnot. You actually looking in and looking out into the world,
Yeah.
even if it was just bullshit. But
Yeah,
you know,
trying to figure it out. You
it's the
like,
fact
shit,
you was
what's
out there
happening?
looking. You know, you was
You
looking
just
for your own
Willing
information.
to engage and then not even
Mhm.
on the surface level of, oh, it's just the celebrities and they do gay stuff. Like, no, like, you got to get past that. You got to get into, like, doing the research
This
and.
nigga bringing up circa 2008.
Yeah.
Right.
Oh my
Yeah, like-
That
God.
was high school. That was like fresh out of high school.
You got to get past, like,
Ah,
the
y'all
celebrity
think he
shit
was gay?
and look at, like,
Right.
the Rothschild aspect
Yes,
of
the
it and
Rothschild.
look at them controlling the world and the world banks
And
and
the
think about the
world banks,
Trinity
oh my
system
God.
where if you look at religion and the center religion is at the Vatican and then you look at
I
the
got a
military
question.
part is
Hold
fucking
on.
America
The fact
and then you
that
look
we
Wait,
can
at
laugh
wait.
about that shit
the,
now is
England
hilarious.
as the actual old world control and they're the bank system and everything like that, the World Bank.
Yeah, if somebody
And
came
that's
with
how
you that
those
now, you'd
three
be like,
yeah, like
who gives
but
a fuck?
exactly like but the
Even
fact that
Riley
you willing
just
to
runs
like
around the house screaming randomly Illuminati. This nigga don't give a why little girl don't give a fuck. What do the Illuminati mean to my 8-year-old child? Not a damn thing. And she just runs around the house sometimes screaming Illuminati.
because it just became a
Just
pop
leave
culture
it at it,
thing.
yeah.
Yeah, it was just
She saw that shit in Teen Titans, my nigga. That shit don't matter. To
All right. So I do got a question though, right?
All right.
yeah. Go ahead.
So I was watching Futurama the other day, right? And I saw a Kwanzaa bot.
Mhm.
Now,
You say Kwanzaa bot?
yeah,
Like the holiday?
yeah, Kwanzaa. Like in Futurama, they got three people that represent the religions, right? There's the Hanukkah zombie, there's the Santa Claus robot, and then there's the Kwanzaa bot, right? And I was looking at it and I'm like, that's real funny. That how you got Santa Claus, then you got which represents Christianity, and then you had the Hanukkah zombie that represents Judaism, right? And then it goes straight to Kwanzaa. Like, so Kwanzaa was created in the 1960s. So why is Kwanzaa held as the black religion and not like Muslim or Islam?
I don't even know. The nigga that started that shit went to jail like multiple times for like beating up women. I think he was actually a known like agent. Kwanzaa don't mean shit.
That's what I'm saying. Like, so what? Like, then I started thinking about it. I'm like, in society, like a lot of times, it's like they put Kwanzaa there next to Christmas and Hanukkah instead of anything like from the Muslim religion or Islam or anything of the sense.
I don't know. Man,
Because they created a religion, and that's the one that we can have.
Yeah, that's one of they
What are you
said
talking
can
about?
have.
I'm just saying, I just thought that shit was funny. I didn't pay attention to that till I saw that episode yesterday, and I'm like, huh,
They can't have shit else.
Kwanzaa?
Yeah, you see how we're having this conversation?
This never happens. I can't imagine it.
You
not.
see how you engaging and like have knowledge and things.
Yeah, no, I couldn't have this conversation on like I couldn't just be like, oh, Kwanzaa, and they be like, oh, no, that wouldn't be like Kwanzaa. What? I don't know shit about Kwanzaa. You see that shit that happened last night on da 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 da? No, I ain't. All right.
Get you with the head now, like, oh, okay.
Yeah.
Why didn't y'all say nothing? I don't know.
What would we
I've
say?
never
What are we
heard
going
of
to say?
this
What am I gonna
ever.
say?
What am I going to say to her?
I don't. Why is this not like, hey, you know what? I would like for my woman to have more depth.
That's a common female.
Oh, she gonna be mad.
Yeah.
Not to directly to a woman, but just
That's
like
the
state your
kind.
needs. In
I mean-
the void. I don't know.
I mean-
never.
I mean,
I
don't date.
Sometimes
those
that's not
women.
always what you're
I
looking for
don't
at the moment in
date
time.
Those women.
Okay.
I don't date that. I don't. Like,
No, I don't either.
I don't date them.
Well,
I just meet
I
them.
did one time.
Just meet them
Terrible
and know.
situation.
That's some atomic.
You know, you
That
learn
was
your
crazy.
lessons. You learn your lessons.
Yeah, no, I don't date anyone that falls into that category. Like,
Okay.
even if you're dumb, not even dumb, even if you lack a certain level of intelligence, but you're willing to like and seeking knowledge, I'm fucking with you. Because you got the qualities that I'm looking for. You looking for growth. You looking for change. You trying to elevate your level. You want to like interact with me and engage. Like you want like the same thing. So I'm with that. Like I don't care that you had a rougher beginning, and so where you're at right now isn't as far or where I'm at. According to how society looks at it, you still trying to get it. So fuck it, I can help you and shit. If I can elevate you, that's what I'm gonna do.
Yeah.
And in that situation, it's like, I love when, like, all right, I be talking about something, right? And you don't know what the fuck I'm talking about. Instead of be like, oh, okay. I'm like, what's that? Or explain that. Or tell me what that's about. Oh, fine. I'll bust it down real quick. I'll explain it. I ain't got no issue doing that. Why not? You want to know? I'll tell you. I love that shit. They're like, all right, even if you don't know what the fuck I'm talking about, you're like, oh.
Yeah, I always
Well,
put
explain
myself
that.
At the basis of I don't know, I'm stupid. Explain. And everything that I do for real, I just not pretend that I'm dumb, but just I guess.
Acknowledge your ignorance.
Yeah, because
Yeah,
definitely
like,
if you talking
I
about
don't
something.
know. Maybe you know something more than me, and that's why I just like get out opportunity to people to teach me something. Damn, that's crazy.
Yeah,
I
that's
just
like-
can't like imagine because I'm trying to put myself in a situation where I'll just be like not eager to learn something or explore something new, and it's just like, what do you mean?
Like, I've been in a situation, even myself. Like, I'll be talking to somebody, I'll be talking about shit. I'm like, this, and that. I explain it. And they get to which branches off into something somehow linked to what they were talking about. And they get into what they know about real deep. And they get to talking to them like,
Yeah,
what you mean? Explain that real time. Let me grasp what you talking about.
And then the disagreement part helps me understand something. I'm like, always end the disagreement like, well, maybe he right. Maybe I'm wrong. Maybe we both right and wrong. Like, it really don't matter as long as like something came up. And I'm all about like the challenge. Like, even though I didn't like when I was working out, like I always like the challenge. Or like when we was talking about performing, I always like the challenge of the stage fright or the nervousness that I get. It's always about the challenge to me. What's this? What can I learn? Like, what obstacle is this about to break? And it's just like weird as fuck. Not to say that these women don't exist. That's like me, but
That y'all are more rare than commonplace.
yeah,
Yeah, it's not common.
that's something else.
I mean, I guess I can kind of understand if most of the men aren't like us, though, aren't looking for what we're looking for, aren't looking for
Yeah,
that
no.
level of conversation and depth and understanding. They're looking to fuck,
They're looking for
They're
exactly what they
looking
found, what they see.
to chill and y'all be cool and take a couple little vacations and have a little family and like y'all feel like y'all know each other, but y'all don't really like engage the
Yeah.
world together. But you both are surface level people, so that's fine. Y'all didn't have any depth to begin with, so y'all know everything, and so that's fine because y'all learned all y'all needed to learn about the other person.
That is more.
Mhm.
Well, no, because I don't know how it is for a regular bitch around here, but every dude I attract always been at that level or quality of like, what are you into? Or like we could have that conversation, but hood niggas usually don't. But I don't never really deal with them on a regular. Like they just like you said, it's more surface level. What you trying to do later? How much can I make you laugh? All those things that really just don't matter to me. Maybe they matter to like you said to the commonplace female, but none of that shit ever really mattered to me, and that's why.
Most women operate off of feeling.
You
Yeah,
ever said like, "Oh, you make me feel."
yeah, and I know.
All
I know
right,
niggas
cool.
Know that shit. I know niggas know that cheat code.
As long as you make me feel this way, I'm good. Until you make me not feel this way.
Yeah.
And that's how their relationships fail. As long as that
Mhm.
feeling continues, then shit is fine.
Yeah, but like as far as the extra shit, that's something else. But I really did have an extra question to ask.
Okay, what's the other question?
All
Well,
right.
the question was, all right, like you just got your basic standard things, and how much do you think that's based off of? Now that I see, well, I guess a better question was, how do y'all think our egos prevent true unconditional love from thriving? Because I came to the conclusion when the question was asked, he was talking about like how you said like, okay, you got to have a partner that has these requirements before we can even have the conversation and me even developing something with you. And I think that that's not really a condition. That's like the dirt for the seed of unconditional love. Like you can't have one without the other for unconditional love to flourish. Because I love my baby no matter what, or I love the person that I would love. Now that I see like I don't have to go into something blindside, but I definitely don't have to have my guard up as much, only because now I'm comfortable in what I know and comfortable in my what's that word I'm looking for? Comfortable in my standards. And I think those standards are like the dirt to the seed of unconditional love. Like you can't go forward with unconditional love without having those. And I think a lot of people blame like ego shit on actual love. Like love don't ever change. Love is just kind of there. It's always is and all it ever be. And then the ego come in and say, well, say you like I'm trying to think of the first person I ever really loved, and you just be gung ho about this person, and you just doing all the stupid shit. Like when I first fell in love, I would stay up, but we both worked at Burger King, so I would stay at Burger King for like I get off at 4. This nigga want to come in at 7, so I would stay up there 3 hours just to say hi to this person. Now to us, like we know, like we're not about to sit up there for 3 fucking hours just to say hi.
Look, I'm not waiting
But-
for you for half an hour. I'm going home. I'll see you when I see you at the house.
I'll text you.
I'll text you later. Oh wait, we kids still. Yeah, I'll text you later.
But yo, the love.
Hit me up
that
when you go on break.
be having for real, that comes from the heart. Be like, I don't see what's wrong with that, and that's the love that I guess what I'd like to see more of, instead of just like this ego. Like we come from the ego where it's like,
See,
I don't think that's love, though. I think that's infatuation. I think you're infatuated with the other person that you're not even engaging with them on a human level.
Yeah.
At that point, like you have the vision of who they are, and that's what you're living in. So when they start to ruin that vision of who they are, that's when your ego kicks in. But before then, you're not engaging with
you ever say that's
a real
not
person.
that's not
You're engaging with
a real thing.
your image of them, and it's up to that person that you're infatuated with to disprove that. As long as they don't, you'll do whatever because this feeling is addictive. But I think that for me, I take unconditional love literally.
mm-hmm.
And if I have to set a condition, then it's not unconditional. And me having a standard is a condition. I don't have a standard for my child. My child could do whatever. My child could stab me, and as I'm dying, I'd be like,
I don't fuck with you no more, but I love you.
how did I fail him? Like, my
Right.
child is a killer, and to the point that they want to kill me. Like, I'm still gonna look at me as the bad.
Yeah.
Like, but no other person who meets my standard, that once they break that standard, you broke a condition, and I stopped loving you. If I was unconditional, no matter what you did, I would love, cherish, and try and provide the best. But I can't say that. I can't say if someone was actively an agent against me that I would want the best for them, or if they're actively doing things negative. Like, if they were the crackhead, I would want the best for that person. I would try to do the best, and I would put them into the distance, just like my child.
Mm-hmm.
But if my child was coming in and fighting me, and I gotta call the cops to get you off me and shit like that, and that's what you do every time we see you come and you put hands on me, it's not gonna stop loving you. Other person comes and always puts hands on me, I'm not gonna feel that same level of love and affection for you after a while. Like,
Yeah.
I'm gonna become hateful, vitriol, and resentful towards you because you've broken all the standards, barriers, and sanctity that we were supposed to have, or that I had, that made you worthy of this unconditional love.
But now this comes the question: was that love even there to begin with? Because if it goes to this point, was it really ever there to begin with? And I wonder now how many unconditional love relationships, or like you said, the only thing we can really compare it to, I guess if you haven't really been in it, is with children and family, or parents, with children and parents. But now it's like, if it gets to this point, was it ever really there? Because I feel like love grows. Like my love for Riley has grown exponentially, and it never will stop, no matter what she does. and it might get to a point where I don't know if it could ever stop for real, because I'm not her love. Like I said, no matter what Riley do in the future, she not here to fulfill nothing in me. She is just there. I don't depend on her to fulfill nothing in me. She's just a kid that needs all this nourishing and nurturing, and I give it to her not because I feel like I have to. It's because I generally just look at her and be like, why wouldn't I?
Well, okay, so in terms of me, right, from my perspective, like I said, there's two people in the world I unconditionally love, right? That doesn't count as family or anything in a sense. Like, for at least one of the people, right, it was like you said, it's more than just that. Like you said, that infatuation, or he said that infatuation. Once you get past that, it's more about knowing that person. So for me, it's like you became more than what you initially were. So like you became an important person to me because of whatever happened or whatever the situation was. And like I said, I don't know how I would deal with the situation. They were coming at me negatively. I've never had to deal with a situation like that where there was love towards somebody and they were constantly just so I don't know how I would deal with that. So in my perspective right now, it's just like I said before, regardless of what happens or what's going on, there's always a love for you. There's always a caring and understanding for you. Like I always feel something for you, and vice versa.
Yeah.
Regardless of our situations, we can go on and live our own completely different lives, and have children, families, and all that whatnot. But it's still a connection between us, and that's the unconditional. No, or that's what I put it on or base it on. Yeah.
Yeah, I can agree. I mean, like I said, I haven't been in that situation, so
Yeah.
I don't know what I would do. I have never had anyone like be like destructive, or like, let's say, like, since it's this day and age, like always on social media kicking my back end, saying negative things about me, just
Right.
like on every platform, just like
I try to actively avoid those females.
every day. Like, that's all they do is
If I even
like,
feel like you're gonna do that.
put your whole name in it, everything like that. Just no discretion, none of that. Like, I've never dealt with that situation, but I don't think that I could be comfortable with them as a person, because I think it would See, what I think would happen is not necessarily that I would intentionally stop loving that person. I just think that my view of you would become a different person to me. Just as you became more than what you were,
Mm-hmm.
and the love that I have for you, and it continued beyond a relationship,
Mm-hmm.
and now it's like a genuine friendship where I want the best for you. I think that you can become more than what you were in a negative fashion and show me that you're a betrayer, a negative person, and maybe possibly make me doubt the things and qualities that I thought I saw in you before when we were in a positive space. Because if this is how you treat me when we're in a negative space, then was the positivity only because we were in a positive space? Like, did I only get that because of where we were at then, and because we had a falling out or whatever negative, or even if we didn't have like a real falling out, like we just stopped speaking.
Mm-hmm.
Do you run and take that and become hostile? So I think that's how it would make me feel differently, because it would make me feel like I didn't know the person originally. Like, how could you go from this person that I thought you were to this person? And I think it would make me second guess my own character judgment, I guess.
Mm-hmm.
It's like, how did I believe in this person and we get to this point? Like, I don't even know how this person who I thought you were would become this person that would do these things to me. And I guess if I couldn't see that correlation, that would be my issue.
Yeah, it's understandable.
So no, I get not just like, if they're just doing weird shit, then I'd probably still care about them. Like, you're not really doing nothing to me. You just
Mm-hmm.
out here living your life, and that's what you want to do. And like, we don't have to interact. We don't ever have to speak again for me to care about you. Like, that's not, like, I feel like the need to interact is selfish. That's ego. The need to like express it to the other person is ego.
Yeah.
I feel like you can recognize I have a care for that person, and also recognize that
Or
we don't-
insecurity.
or also insecurity, because I need to know that they care about me too.
Right.
So I need to tell them, so they tell me as well. But no. So I don't know. I think that it can be a little bit of both, but I don't think that unconditional love is unreal. I just think that achieving it is kind of unrealistic if you start off with standards. Because then you've already set a barrier for what's not acceptable. And if there's things that aren't acceptable, then there's a point where you'll stop.
I've always thought, like, not always, I've grown to learn that it all kind of starts with yourself. And I don't know if from a logical standpoint, yes, if we had to go with what unconditional means, then yes, I guess we can say that, nah, it really don't exist. But from like a spiritual standpoint, I can't give myself a loving act if I don't have it within myself first.
I agree with that.
Yeah.
So I can't go out into the world expecting people to give me what I don't give myself.
In
And
that
I
sense,
can't,
yeah.
I can't love me in my totality and accepting the good and the bad about myself and think that I will get it back. But with that being said, every person that I meet, if I fall in love with a man or whatever, that is a representation about my inner man and how that inner man treats me, how I let my inner man treat me. So if I was in a relationship that wasn't quote unquote perfect, that's literally how I felt about myself, and vice versa. If you were with a woman and she treated you less than, after a while, like what you got to see, like this isn't really fulfilling, or this is really crossing a lot of boundaries, that is the woman inside of you. That's really like the outside of you saying, this is how you treat yourself on the inside. And like I said, in order to cultivate that, my dirt has to be fruitful, and it has to be filled with nutrients. And when I feel like my dirt is not filled with nutrients, then you can't grow that unconditional love. Somebody else got to bring that seed for it to really grow. And I've seen love grow over the years or you could even not go anywhere. I've seen things where you just be like, you don't know. And then you be like, well, this feeling isn't really going away. So what the fuck am I supposed to do with this? Well, maybe it's something there. I guess, like, to me, love is kind of like a force, and you either accept it or you don't. And the ego getting away where it's telling you like, no, you shouldn't be doing this. Are you sure? What's going on? It's to start telling you all these lies and stories that if ultimately you don't learn how to trust that force of love, that you'll start to buy into. And I understand now, like, I wouldn't choose a man that don't help bring that seed to the soil that I'm trying to cultivate. And even if I feel like my soil isn't fertile, quote unquote, then I won't accept it for self-preservation reasons and because I don't want to hurt the other person either. And that's when that shit really that's where it started for me. It was like, I can't bring you into a situation that's not loving.
Well, I guess I agree completely with that, but I look at it differently. Whereas I guess where you call that a standard, I call that self-love, and I feel like you can't love anyone without having a certain level of appreciation, respect, and care for yourself. Like, because then it's more of like attachment. I'm attaching me to you to drain the love that you say you have for you into me because I don't have love for me, so I need the love you.
I need you to fill my cup.
Yeah, and so I don't think that. I don't think you can build self-love or unconditional love out of that. So I do think you have to have self-love to start with. So I wouldn't call that a condition. I think that's you being a whole person. Like, I don't think people who don't love themselves can really be whole.
Yeah.
Right.
Like, I think you can be working to be whole, and you can recognize that I dislike these things about myself, but I want to move to be in a space where I'm comfortable with myself. And being comfortable doesn't mean that you don't want change, but it means that you don't hate who you are. You don't loathe. There's no like level of self-loathing. Mm-hmm. You can want to like self-challenge, self-correct, but self-loathing is usually where you start to like lose that respect for yourself and look for it outwardly. Yeah. So I don't think that, no, you can't go into any situation like that. So yeah, I completely agree that you need to come with like you said, a fertile soil, open ground, and open mind, and being fully in tune with who you are to be able to accept the other person. But I still think that if the other person doesn't come bearing fruit and seeds, you're going to turn them away because they're not going to be beneficial to your soil.
Right.
That makes sense.
And so I think that you can grow into love for them. You can, as long as they're bearing that fruit and fertilizing your soil and doing all the things that they need to be prosperous and grow on this land, then yeah, y'all can stay together. But I think once they start to compromise your self-love, that's when you'll have to get rid of them. Yeah. And that's the end of self. And so I guess for me, if there's any point where you have to get rid of them,
it becomes conditional?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Because for my kid, there's no point that I have to get rid of them.
Yeah.
And so, like, but I definitely do agree that you have to start with self-love. Like, so when you explain it like that, like, you definitely do need that. I feel like you definitely need a foundation. Because if I hated me, then I would need a woman to be so into me and to fill me up all the time that.
When she wasn't.
Yeah, when you were.
You don't love me.
Basically, your job becomes to make me not hate myself.
Yeah, like, I question your level. So you don't love me? Or you don't care about me? Like, those shouldn't be the questions that I'm asking, because realistically, those are insecurities within myself. I'm asking, am I not good enough for love? Am I not worthy enough to be cared about or to be cherished and shit like that? So I don't think that you can go into any situation like that and foster unconditional love. So no, I definitely agree with that. So yeah, that makes sense.
Okay. I'm done.
Oh, I thought that's my question.
She's like, no, I'm good.
It's like, no, I got all the answers and all the discussion. Well, look at that. Hitting 2 hours. Talked about, oh, shit, what else? I was going to say something. No, I talked about fleets and Meg Thee Stallion.
Trying to do a recap, but can't.
No, I was thinking about something new that I was supposed to add.
Recap is not a recap.
No, because I was like, I had another topic. Let me look at my notes. Because I be having stuff that I be wanting to talk about, and then I'll leave. We'll stop recording. Marcus will leave. Everything will be shut down. And I remember, fuck, I didn't mention this. And I just be like, you could just really check your nose hot quickly, and it would be fine.
You know what I did want to talk about that I learned something about, but I don't know if it's a conversation, like, continuer. I was thinking about moralism the other day and how it actually stems deeper than just, like, how like, all right, if you steal from me, bad. If you give to the poor, good. Like really, that shit is like an inner. It's kind of like I'm reading this book called Radical Honesty, where he said like moralism is actually one of the banes of our existence because we internalize like when we are children. Somebody said like, you can't be yourself. Being yourself is bad, rather than like conforming and going to school. And like, no, you just internalize the moralism. Like, this is bad and this is good. This would yield you this result, and this would yield you bad results. So that's
all
when
my
I realized,
morals, every moral I live by is a self-set moral,
yeah,
and nothing that was set by like society.
Because
There's things I
definitely
believe
agree with
are
that.
right or
Moralism is a big part of. I don't believe in right and wrong, or
Mhm.
well, that or good and evil. Like I feel like everything is really, really subjective. Like, and to go high level, war is completely fine to kill people. I kill Pookie from down the street, I'm gonna go to jail.
mm,
What's the difference in value of life and the transgression? You said the transgression was grave enough that he had to die. I felt the transgression he did. It was grave enough to die, but
Because we don't agree.
I have to go to jail.
Mhm.
So, your moral is subjective based off of your situation. So, if everything is situation or low level, you're completely viscerally anti homosexuality. You say nothing about any of the acts that happen inside of the church. You ignore it. How do you reconcile those? Those don't make sense to me. Or you are completely fine with your child who is homosexual. You just don't speak about it, but you love and cherish them. So how do you reconcile loving and cherish them, but you don't see it for all the people? That don't make sense to me. Like,
And that's where that unconditional love kicks in.
yeah.
That's where that unconditional love kicks
Yeah,
in. It's
but-
like situations like that.
So boom, once you have that unconditional love, then you should rationalize. All right, this level of vitriol towards something that has literally no effect on me is probably inconsistent with my morals.
mm,
Or if my morals are that this is completely wrong, then I should have that same level of vitriol towards my child, regardless, because this book that I believe in or these moral compass should be so high that all that don't fall in line with it should get cast aside.
Yeah, I don't know. I
And
feel like
people aren't willing to do that.
people don't really know what they believe in and what they don't believe in until their beliefs truly get challenged.
Yeah.
Realistically, because like even in that situation, it's like, well, that's not an issue unless you never had to deal with it
Yeah,
until
and
you
can
had
be
to deal with it.
completely,
So how do you
insane in your
really
ways.
feel? Right.
Yeah. He said lawyers. He a psychologist. He said lawyers actually had the biggest problem with that because of the years of pounding they go through. He said he called it ass kissing, where it was like you gotta learn all this shit, and no matter how you feel about it or whether the arbitrary thing we could come up with, you still gotta abide by the rules no matter what, because these are the fucking rules, and if you go against them, then
I wonder if prosecutors feel like that,
you can't get out of it.
Yeah.
And he said them lawyers, he was like, that was the biggest one.
or
That's
defenders feel like that, like just
probably
lawyers
do,
in general.
Because you have just like taking like business law one time
Mm-hmm.
and seeing how much this one case and what happened there and its statute and its precedents means that most other judges aren't going to go against this because it's like a standard has been set.
Yeah.
So everything is predicated off the other thing. So you really have to just be like, all right, so these are the things that we're going off of and this is what we're using. So to get out of that mode and to think that everything is a gray area would be counterproductive for their line of work. So I can understand why they don't have that mindset, because I'm not gonna, if everything has a gray area and I'm a prosecutor, then most of these niggas might be able to get off.
Right.
That's not gonna be.
That's not conducive to my fucking
Yeah.
court of law.
And even to say, if I'm a defender, I need to make sure that it's ironclad that no, he didn't break that law. You can't
Yeah, and he
move
said
it over into he did. No. These are the laws, and this is not what happened.
Right.
He said even when they did the test, like if they didn't feel, I think is it just in DC? I forget, but some of them can like appeal their grade. Like you can actually have somebody like review it and be like, oh, we can review this and then potentially get a higher grade. Like, it's so fucking arbitrary, but they can't escape that whole this is right, this is wrong thing, and they have the most problems in those psychotherapy sessions. So
reason I asked though, the reason I brought that up or said what I said was because, like, you think about it, being a defender, right? Your job is to defend him, regardless if he did that shit or not. And now it's your job versus what if that's against your morals? What if that's against how you feel? And all that whatnot. So now you dealing with that turmoil. It's your job versus your personal life and how you feel and all this other shit. But that don't matter because, you know, this is your job. This is your living. This is how you make your money.
Same with the prosecutor. You can be
on the vice versa.
Smoke weed every day, and now you got to prosecute motherfuckers that sell weed. That's your weed, man.
Right. Damn,
you
bro.
gonna look your weed man in the face. And
right. Like my nigga.
5 years today, bro.
Like how do you?
And that nigga looking at you like, nigga, you just called me for 2 ounces yesterday.
Look just like that.
Yesterday. Nigga, I just saw you yesterday.
I don't understand. Like, yeah, so like shit like that.
You talking about putting the play together, like
would be wild. So yeah, no. So I could definitely agree with that. That morality is.
That just kind of made me be like, oh, well, the point of what he was saying was like challenge your personal morals. But I'm just like, is that a conversation topic? Probably not.
Yeah.
But here we are.
So I don't know. I don't have anything.
it turned
else
into
to say on
something.
it. But yeah, that was a nice little ender. That's what y'all got.
Yeah.
Question your morality. See if you came up with it or if it was given to you and if you really agree with it or if it fits into the lifestyle that you really want to live and not the lifestyle that you feel you should be living. But yeah, I think that's all the advice that I have for y'all on to give out. Maybe I'll start giving y'all advice when I leave. I don't know. I might forget. But yeah, this has been Conscious Reconstruction. We out.